And we're live. Take two. Great. Yeah.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Or welcome back to Brian Lucina and Mark Graves. Take two. There's the guy in the bottom who ruined the last one. Fat finger Coach Emilio.
Oh, man.
All right, welcome back to the Krueger Show. We had a bunch of people in the room. I mean, there was literally 17,000 people in the room. And now we have to build it back up. Because Dan decided he was going to clear the room. I haven't seen somebody clear the room since, one of my fraternity brothers,
Cut some cheese?
Yeah, suddenly everybody was running for the exits.
Jeez.
Mute Danny, according to Graves. There we go. That's Danny has to be muted right there. That was bad. When you kill the live stream altogether, Anonymous says mute Dan for the weekend. Wow.
No,
that's a little too harsh. Graves, should we bring Danny back? Graves says no. Stephen J. Larry needs to rip. Thank you. Carlo P. Another shutout. Justin Kerwin. Mute has to stand up and do a dance for us. Yeah. Danny. Okay. He says Graves says unmute. You knew Graves would he'd show some compassion.
For a guy who's sitting in.
Dan, what happened? Do you want to talk to us about what happened?
Yeah.
What was going on there? You're not in your normal humble abode. You're in a.
No, I'm in some kids' room here.
Look at that. Bunk beds.
Yeah. And
Danny should have to do the live stream on the top bunk.
What do we got?
That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious if you had like Tigger and you were sitting in the top bunk and your wife and your friends came in. And you're like, hey, yeah, I like Tigger and I'm up in the top bunk. That one looks that Tigger looks pretty new, by the way.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Keep that Tigger away from the broadcast.
I did shoot. Tigger was that's pretty neat. Yeah. Is my signal a little better? I got the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it actually is. And here, you know what, guys? Brian Lucina said, I'm not sure Jimmy G's future has been discussed enough. I've officially I came to it while I was at the gym during the Giants game. I was barely paying attention to. I was really thinking about it, and I've decided Jimmy G's going to the Seahawks. And because I was looking at the 49ers schedule, and now this is my new thing. I don't know if it's a conspiracy or what you'd call it, but the Niners play the Seahawks in week 2. So if the Niners plan on cutting Jimmy G, it would make a whole heck of a lot of sense to wait till the last second possible, because if he goes to Seattle, what you don't want to happen is week 2 of the NFL season, Jimmy G in Seattle with enough time to prepare. And if the Seattle beats us, that is going to be brutal. So
yeah, but I mean, look at it this way though. If Jimmy decided himself through his agent that Seattle's where he's going, he could be sitting in Santa Clara working out and studying their playbook and having meetings with them without anybody saying anything. I mean, the only people would know about it if let's just say Seattle added Jimmy to their quarterback meeting, and they've got their offensive coordinator, their quarterback coach, Geno Smith, Drew Lock. Oh yeah, and Jimmy on video in the meeting room.
I don't think that would. I think that especially after the tampering thing that just came down with the Dolphins, I think that teams are a little wary of that. I think. Okay,
so maybe you don't go that route, but you could easily get them a copy of your playbook and say, learn it.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
I mean, it's the same verbiage. Also, that's another positive. But yeah,
it also seems like it would add tremendous resolve to Seattle and to Jimmy and to Seattle's coaching staff to adapt fast, quickly and see, look at the huge emotional advantage they would have if they beat the 49ers in that game.
Yeah, and how much tampering really is there when the 49ers gave Don Yee and his team permission to go seek a trade? So you could be having all kinds of discussions with teams. So who knows? I mean, I read your tweet, Ryan. All of a sudden, you had me scouring the sports pages, looking. Did a trade go down, and I didn't hear about it?
Justin Kerwin says breaking news: Pete Carroll just said Geno Smith is his starter opening week.
That makes sense to me.
He's outplayed Locke from what I've heard.
Oh yeah, Locke's not it. Geno's gonna start week 1, but Jimmy G will be there. He will be their starter week 2 versus the Niners.
Reminds me of a story. Remember Matt Flynn had this great year with Green Bay. Rodgers is out. Seattle signs him, and it's like, oh man, Flynn's going to be their quarterback, and then they draft Russell Wilson,
and he beat him out. And they cut Flynn.
So now they trade for Locke, and here comes Geno Smith. But Geno Smith, he's not very good at all.
No, he hasn't done one thing to prove. Like, he doesn't have any NFL tape that proves he's a quality starter.
I mean, Seattle's going to.
What do you guys think of all the people who are now being incredibly critical of the 49ers? Brett Favre said they're fools if they don't go with Jimmy G. Of course, Brett Favre wanted the Packers to go with him over Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I don't know. The whole thing. I gotta think that unless the 49ers wind up trading him, if they trade him and they get some compensation, then I guess you could say they save some face. If they just release him, I think they set themselves up for a whole lot of NFL backlash as far as everybody and their brother is going to quickly determine that they didn't do right by Jimmy G. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays in their locker room with their players, or if they've kept their own people in the loop to a degree where maybe there's no impact. I will say this too, after watching Trey Lance in a game yesterday with none of the star players for the most part, though I guess they had Debo early. He went to Debo down the field and couldn't connect. There's just an awful lot of people who have just been really, really critical of Trey's every move. Considering you're not game planning at all. You're not trying to necessarily, look for a mismatch. I mean, it seems like what makes Shanahan is that he's a great play caller. He's a great play sequencer. He's relentless and ruthless in how he goes about going after your weaknesses as a defense. He's not doing any of that in the preseason, any of it. So if you take that away, to me, it's like the Niners offense is almost not even worth. I don't really even care what it looks like, because if you're not game planning to win, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think the criticism of Trey is over the top. I mean, literally some of the people that I like and respect are just sitting there, and the way they're talking about his mechanics, you would think that everybody's Greg Cosell now. Everybody, just because they've got the all 22 and they can zoom out and slow it down and run it back, all of a sudden they think they're an NFL offensive coordinator. And it's like, I'd love to see the credentials for several of these people breaking down these preseason films and going through his mechanics. Like, are you really pretending to know NFL quarterback mechanics, everything from footwork to arm placement to arm speed to where's your elbow to where? I mean, I don't know, man. I just think that I don't want to say stay in your lane, but it's like, know what you know what you don't know, stick with what you know. You hear me, I'm critical about things all the time in football. I always, if I'm going to be hypercritical, where's my hypercriticism? It's in personnel evaluation, because that's what I know. And I know probably as much or more than anybody about the mechanics of these positions. Heck, I've been in pro practices, meetings. I've seen the coaches go through every ounce of everything. But even that, you don't see me talking about arm, elbow placement and his leg placement and his stride. And it's like, there's all kinds of people who never scouted, never played, never coached, never did anything except for be enthusiastic about football. Now they got the all 22, and it's like, I'm going to show you that I'm Greg Cosell. I'm going to show you that I'm Matt Bowen. You're not. You're not. All right. And you're not in the meetings. You don't know what they're coached to do on each play. It's just, there's so much unknown that it just totally obliterates and kills their credibility. And it makes you wonder, okay, if you're going to fake this, what other things will you fake in your coverage? If you're going to fake knowing, all kinds of things to put together a little video for a few YouTube hits. I mean, it's just, I don't know. We're in a weird period of time right now where it used to be you had people who talked and gave opinions, and then you had people who broke down film. Now we have people who talk and give opinions most of the year, and they get a little film, and all of a sudden they're working for NFL Films. Suddenly, you're on the matchup show next to Sal Pal and Greg. And it's like, what? No, wrong. Missed the mark. And people can have to judge for themselves. But I would say the people who are really good at it would be Greg, Matt Bowen, Brian Baldinger does a pretty good job with it.
Great. Baldinger's really.
I kind of like the Orlovsky. I think he's pretty good at it. He'll explain some coverages and what things should look like. But I mean, still, even Dan would tell you, I'm not in the meetings. I never heard any of the coaching points. There's a lot of unknown in my analysis, but people don't even account for that. It's weird. It's just like
how I break it down. I look at it this way. Kyle knows what he's got. He knew what he had in Lance last year. He saw him all year in practice. He made the decision to go with Trey this year, believing he's ready to go. And what did he do? The first game, he pretty much, everybody's all nervous, worried, talking about what Trey's going to like. What does he do? He shows what he's got with the nice bomb to Danny Gray for a touchdown, and he's out of the game. Okay. Then he sits game 2. Now he just shows a little bit game 3. Do you really want him going out there and showing what he's got and running all these great plays to show what he's capable of and what the offense is capable of? No, I think you just want to get him some reps. Don't show anything that it's going to be on film.
Dan, the only thing I would say to on that is why play the starters then? Why even have Debo out there for a snap?
Because they're going to have to play maybe 70 snaps. In 3 weeks. So you gotta. It's like you can't. It's like running a marathon. You don't run a marathon to train for a marathon, but you run 5 miles every day. If you're not running at all, and it's hard to run a marathon. So, when you get to week 1, there's no like, okay, come on out. No, There's no coming out. You got to play. So you have to get some level of conditioning. I mean, you're already going to see it. Week 1 or week 2, especially in these warmer climates, guys are just going to be absolutely done mid third quarter because they don't practice hard enough. They don't play hard enough. They haven't established that level of endurance. So endurance is a big part of it. So I think you got to play a little bit.
Yeah, played. We always in the first games we never showed certain things. And then each game, each week, we different wrinkles and add things to the offense, especially depending on the matchups. So they're not going to show a lot of their things. What they show the basic things that people have film on last year. But I guarantee you're going to see some wrinkles in week 1 that you haven't seen in a couple years. And you're going to see it get added on game after game. Because Trey can do so much more than Jimmy, and you don't want to show that in the preseason. You don't want to get it out there early. There will be some different plays that have not been in Kyle's offense because of the limitations of his quarterbacks. It's just going to be that way.
That's true to some extent. I just got to say, like, back to what you were saying, Larry, like anybody that has a extremely strong take on Trey Lance and where Trey Lance is going to be at the beginning of the year or during the season, I just think you're being a hot take artist. You're not being truthful, because truthfully, nobody really knows. The guy hasn't put anything on game tape yet. The most we can do is prognosticate based on the guy's seemingly a good kid. His teammates like him. He's a hard worker. Those are all the reasons why I believe in him, in addition to the raw talent. But this idea that he is possibly going to be an MVP, please, I'll book that. It's going to be crazy.
There are people that think the Niners are at best are going to be a 7 or 8 win team because Trey is that much of an unknown. I know some people on Twitter have said to me, "Oh, come on, you're crazy. They're not going to win 10 games, 11 games."
But their team's so talented.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's got to be based on what I've seen. I would say that Trey on a pitch count, a run heavy scheme. I would it's kind of like 3 years from now, the game plan will be quite a bit different than what it should be this year. This year, run the ball, play action pass off of it, take care of the football, don't turn it over, don't try to win the game by yourself. Just try to avoid huge negative plays. So what does that mean? Fumbles, interceptions, turnovers, sacks. Try to get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball, move on to the next play. You run in the open field, slide, get down. Don't take the monster hit, cough up the ball. Play a little bit more conservatively. I'm not saying play not to lose, but just run the ball and then play action pass off of it, get it out of his hands. I think the people thinking the 49ers will score 30 a game, though. I don't see that. I see this offense as being, more explosive, potentially more explosive, but also probably more inconsistent. There'll be more 3 and outs.
They average in the low 20s. And I think after week 10, 11, they start putting up 30 points a game average over the final 6-7 games.
Eddie says you guys are crowning them already, though. We're not crowning anybody. I personally think they're going to win the NFC because I don't think anybody's better in the NFC. And I'm not scouting Trey as much as I'm scouting the rosters. I don't see a team in the NFC that's super good. I don't even see potentially super good teams in the NFC. Yeah. I think you got Green Bay with some young receivers and an older quarterback. You got Tampa with an old quarterback. And a pretty good defense. And you got the Rams, who are really, really top heavy with all kinds of issues if they have even basic injuries.
Right.
And then everybody else is like, what? What are you talking about? They're not great. I mean, there's no great teams in the NFC. It's a really lame conference, I think.
Cowboys are done now. Tyron Smith's out a few months. They're toast.
Oh, that's a huge loss. Huge loss for Dallas.
That happened earlier today or yesterday.
Yeah. I think it might have been yesterday or the day before or whenever he went down. But they were asking Whitworth on the broadcast of the Niner game if he would come out of retirement. This was kind of interesting. MF says, John Lynch said Trey Sermon has been one of the best players in camp. Did you guys see that today?
I did.
I saw the quote on like a thing. I don't know. I didn't hear the context around it.
Trade. That's a trade. He's built. That's
posture. I know that does to me sound like a trade kind of a comment.
Yeah.
No, we've been in the camp, and I think Sermon has looked better than he's looked in the past, but one of the best players in camp, I think that might be a little bit of an overstatement.
Yeah, that's crazy.
With all this talk about the offensive line, and I got to thinking, would the 49ers have been better off re-signing Lincoln Tomlinson and using that money of Jimmy toward that when they knew they could have done some restructuring, carry Jimmy and then cut him and then had that money available? It seems like the offensive line is so important to Trey's first year and running the whole offense, whether it's Trey or somebody else, to go with a couple of rookies. It's just, I don't know. I mean, I consider Banks a rookie. So,
I mean, I tweeted about this yesterday because I saw the avalanche coming, and, I like Grant, but, this is his thing now. Everybody that was like basically saying that Trey Lance is the next Patrick Mahomes and that Jimmy G sucked. Now they're all hedging their bets by saying the offensive line is trash. And if Trey struggles, it's going to be because of the offensive line is trash, and that Trent Williams can't play all 5 positions on the line, and that Debo isn't getting any separation. First of all, Debo has never been about getting crazy separation. There's no way that he just regressed that much from this year to, from last year to this year. Second of all, with the offensive line, I was going through it. I mean, we were rolling out absolute dog-s offensive lines in 2019 and 2021, and we were still rolling along during the win streaks. I mean, I put a couple of them in a tweet. I don't know what you were on that.
They lost McGlinchey and who else?
Yeah, 2019 they were rolling with Tomlinson, Sewell, Richter, Person, and a rookie McGlinchey.
Yeah, Staley was out for a while too. They were down. They were like
Staley only played like 6 games.
Yeah,
and McGlinchey was banged up. They ended up being on their 3rd string center come the playoffs.
I mean, look at last year. They went in the NFC Championship game with Brunskill and Compton on the right side of their offensive line. It was
Jalen Moore, Brunskill, Tomlinson, Alex Mack, who, by the way, Alex Mack was not good last year. As much as like he had a great career, he was not good last year. And it banged up Trent or Colton McKivitz. So, it's like I just don't want to hear. Let's hold Trey to the same standard we held Jimmy. And you know what? Maybe let's just take a step back. It doesn't have to be freaking this unbelievable player right away. It's okay to say that.
I've got to pick up my kid from this football game. So let me check out. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. You know what? Let's take some calls. Yeah, so Grant has been saying the offensive line has been a basketball as well. I don't understand. Like I know people say like, oh, you can't scheme an entire offensive line. Well, I don't know. They did it last year. They did it in 2019. And guess what? Trent Williams is the best player in the NFL. And Trent Williams is the best left tackle in the NFL. And the left tackle is the most important offensive line position. So just having Trent Williams, even if the rest of the guys are replacement level or slightly worse, I'm sorry, but we got to figure it out. We can't just scapegoat the O-line. Can't do it.
There's some talk the Raiders might release the former number 1 draft pick, their tackle. What was I don't love. Who is his name?
I don't know. It's not the kid from the Blind Side.
I would look it up, but I can't because I'm using my phone. Leatherwood. Thank you, Kalba.
Yeah, Leatherwood. Oh, you're saying Raiders. Yeah, that was everybody said at the time that was a trash pick.
I don't know if he gets released. Would he be better if Lynchy's out? Would he be better than what the Niners would be putting there?
Nah, I think I'd rather go with McKivitz and just have the chemistry from last year. And here's the other thing. We all have to stop with the 3rd. He was the 3rd overall pick. They traded the 3 first-round picks for him. It's done. It's done. It happened.
And the truth is, they only traded two 1.
I know that's but whenever people want to make it seem like they always say the 3 first-round picks, but really it's nothing.
They moved up from 12 to 3. They exchanged that
he moved it from 12 to 3, and then last year, oh wow, they were top 4 team, so that pick would have been not great anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I just
and they'll probably be a top 4 team this year, 5 teams, so that the picks they're giving up, not going to be that big of a deal. And look what they
not at all. And then here's the other thing: it's like Trey. The thing that did annoy me a little bit, I was not sure when they traded up for the 3rd overall pick. I got so excited because it was like, oh my God, we're going to take a quarterback. We're going to, Zach Wilson drops. I guess we take him at 3rd or, whatever. They'll figure it out. people that I trust said that initially the thought was they were going to take Mac Jones. Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. And I kind of talked myself into it. And I was like, you know what? Well, he could do kind of what Jimmy G did, except for he'll be healthy at least. And
I didn't think you traded for Mac. I never bought into the Mac Jones thing because he was going to be available, I thought, at 12.
I know, but that's the thing. That's what everyone said. It says it's like, well, okay, I'm cool with Mac Jones, but not at 3. But it's like it goes back to like, all right, it's just a player. Like we got to just stop thinking of it. If who do you think is going to be the better player this year? I would say Mac Jones probably has an inside track at being the better player this year. So
I just think, Rye, that when the trade was made, that I figured he was going for either Lance or Justin Fields because he wanted somebody that could be more athletic, more mobile, and he hasn't really had that since RG3, and RG3 was, good for a year. But I think Lance has the highest ceiling of all, and he's a great kid. He's a guy who studies the film. I just feel bad for him
important
because he's got to go through all this talk, and listen to all this garbage.
Horrible.
It's just frustrating. Just go out, let's just see what he does. Give him a couple of years. Don't expect him to be, Joe Montana year 1. Hey,
Joe Montana was not Joe Montana year 1. That's why it's so stupid. It's so stupid that everyone was calling for Trey so much last year to the point where now it's like, okay, now we're going to see him. But here's the thing. I think that Trey is going to ultimately be the best quarterback of this draft class. My expectations are not that high for him this year. That's why I wanted them to keep rolling with Jimmy. So we can just keep putting ourselves in knots about, it's Shanahan's play calling, or, it's the offense line, or blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's okay. It's his year 2. He has not played a football season for 3 years. So it's going to make sense that he, especially the first 3 or 4 weeks, the NFL game is so quick. It's so fast. He's going to get sped up. He's going to make mistakes. He's just got to, limit those mistakes enough. And Kyle's going to, scheme up some awesome, deep balls to Danny Gray. And, it
really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Me, Ryan. And I know that, like you said yesterday, it's, or the analogy that, Jordan made last night about having your sister or your ex-wife in the basement. I still wouldn't be shocked if the Niners end up doing some type of restructuring of his contract. I mean, what happens if, they owe him $26 million, something like that. They can cut him loose tomorrow and be done with it, and they owe him nothing. And it doesn't go against the cap. But what happens if they restructured the deal and said, look, we'll give you 12, 13 million this year, and we'll sign you to a guaranteed contract next year for 13 million, making the difference up. And let's say they decide to,
anonymous. This is again stuff I don't honestly understand, but I trust him. He said again, Dan, they can't restructure the contract.
Why can't they?
I don't know.
Sure they can.
If you want to hit us with why they can't do that, I believe you, but
I'm pretty sure they can. I mean,
I just don't think they will. I mean, I think it's over. Jimmy holds all the cards. I think he's going to sign with the Seahawks. He has a potential chance, if he plays well there, to actually be the quarterback of the future there for at least the next 3 or 4 years. I think it just makes a lot of sense. I mean, what do you think is going to happen if we lose to the Seahawks week 2?
Yeah, but I was just thinking if they did sign him and put him on the PUP list.
Yeah, but it goes back to what 49er says here. Why would Jimmy restructure his contract?
Because he may not be able to, if they cut him, who's going to pay him $25 million? If they cut him, they have to sign somewhere else for maybe $8 million.
But what would you rather have? If you were Jimmy Garoppolo, would you rather have a starting job where you have the chance to continue your career, or would you rather just make $25 million one last time and as a backup that maybe gets in for the season, maybe doesn't, and deals with a lot of turmoil?
He ain't making $25 million anywhere this year, unless.
But over the next 3 years, he could make $25 million.
Yeah, but I'm saying
And he could be a starter.
if you restructure his deal, listen to this, you restructure his deal and then you give him 25 million over 2 years. If you cut him and had to eat the 12 million next year, you could have him this year and trade him. He becomes much more tradable because now he's affordable to everybody at 12 million, 13 million a year. And then you could actually cut him, put him on the PUP for 4 weeks or injured reserve or whatever you want to call it. Now you have 4 weeks. Now you've got 4 weeks of players playing in the league and somebody's going to get hurt. One quarterback's going to go down in the first 4 weeks for the season. Okay. Because now you're playing real football. So now it's like, oh, we need a quarterback. Well, hey, let's trade Jimmy. You see what I'm saying?
I get it. It's just I don't think I totally agree with Ashley here. She said, just want this Jimmy G stuff to be over. People are so on edge because he's hanging out and people making up rumors about the team and Trey because he's still there. Let's just move on, get over with. It's over. It is over. It is too far gone. It's Kyle's already came out and said it. Like it's over.
But what happens if you did that though? If you restructured, put him on the,
you potentially lose the entire locker room and things go into chaos.
Not if you put him on injured reserve like you're going to be doing with Jimmy Ward or others. 4 weeks. He's been there all training camp. He's sitting there working out on the side. Everybody knows he's there. You put him on injured reserve for 4 weeks. And then what happens if Trey goes down in the first 4 weeks and he's out? Now you still got Jimmy. You got the best of both worlds by restructuring his contract. If you just cut him loose, he's lucky to find 10 million anywhere.
But Dan, what if they decide to do that and they put him on the injured thing for 4 weeks, and then Trey, the Niners are 1-3 and 1-3 or 2-2, and Trey is 5 touchdowns, 6 picks, and people are getting impatient, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Garoppolo is there, and they made it to the NFC Championship last year. Players in the locker room are going to be clamoring for Jimmy. Deebo Samuel's he's going to want Jimmy. If his production dips, he's going to want, like, it just has to be, we have to just guys.
You know what I don't know then, because you can't trade him, but to 1 or 2 teams with his.
He's not. I don't know why Larry keeps saying he's going to get traded. He's going to get cut and go to the Seahawks, barring something completely unforeseen happening, like something crazy.
The only team that can take him,
Browns,
with contract is the Browns.
And but why would the Browns, if the Browns just decide to wait, then they have an opportunity at him on the open market for nothing.
True. And then maybe, it's crazy. I wonder if this thing's going down until September 10th, or are they going to make the move this next Tuesday with the rosters cutting to 53? Are they going to put him on the 53 and then cut him on the 10th and bring somebody else back, or are they going to cut ties next Tuesday? Because that'll tell a lot next Tuesday. If somehow he's either cut by Tuesday or he's going to be cut by the 10th. But if you don't cut him and you put him on your roster, that means I would say for sure that would be the end of Sudfeld. I mean, I can't. I would. That would be like crazy to keep Sudfeld if you keep Jimmy. So it's going to be interesting because I don't know. I don't know how to play it. Some people say, do what's best. Jimmy was a warrior for you. Let him go. Let him go to a place where he can play. Others say, you know what? The guy kind of screwed you with the surgery late and didn't notify you, and it you had trades ready to go. Don't let him be ready to go to a place. I don't know. It's such a mess with that contract.
I mean, what gets weird is what 49ers says here. If the 49ers put Jimmy on the 53, they're really scared of Seattle. That's true. I mean, that's showing the wrong message. I mean, I honestly believe that there's intel within the Niners. I've not heard anything directly, but I think there's intel within the Niners that Jimmy's going to the Seahawks. Jimmy wants to go to the Seahawks. They have the same verbiage. I think it's already kind of a done deal. I don't think that what Larry was saying, I don't think he has the playbook yet, but I think that the Niners, they don't want him starting week 2. That is not only is that just, just the change from Geno Smith to Jimmy G. I mean, that goes from a very, very winnable game to all of a sudden, maybe a little bit more of a coin toss with weird emotions. And it just sets up for bad optics. Also, it's also sending a poor message to Sudfeld and Purdy. I feel like, you guys have been with us all camp. You've been grinding. You've been competing. And we're still going to keep Jimmy on the 53. It is really, I think it's the story in football, which is kind of exciting. I think the Niners are at the forefront of the league right now. I think all eyes are going to be on Trey. And I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be super divisive, because I think Trey's going to have some moments where obviously, he doesn't look comfortable and he throws some picks, but I think the team is so dang talented around him, and Kyle's so dang good. And he is so uberly raw talented that I think they're just gonna win ball games, and it's gonna get to a point where they're in the playoffs and people are still gonna be debating. Well, are we? I don't know. I want to pick the Niners in this, but do I really trust Trey in the playoffs? Like that, I feel like all that crap's gonna happen. But this team's so freaking loaded. I really think that I still would pick them for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I kind of did too, just because of the roster, the way it's constructed, and it's
and they're healthy for once. Like, aside from Jimmy Ward, this is the healthiest the Niners have been going into a training camp.
When Jimmy said that it was a really, really severe hamstring pull, I said he's gonna miss game 2 as well. Games 1 and 2, he's not going to be back game 1. Yeah. I just could tell, and sure enough. It's better that you put him on IR, because then he comes back healthy and you got him for 13 games, versus trying to put him out there in week 1 or 2 and then he redoes it, re-aggravates it, just get him healthy. That'll be like a two months, right? Full 2 months, or because when is week 4 is in October, right?
Yeah.
So week 5 would be, I don't have the schedule in front of me. I'm at my mercy because I'm not using my laptop, so I'm
no problem.
But
so we go to the Niners schedule. It's going to be, just thank God that we are playing. We're playing the Bears week 1. Yeah. That's a blessing.
Around the 15th or 14th, 13th of October, somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's the 11th. The Sunday would be October 9th, and that would be the Niners at the Panthers, and that's when they're going to be staying in the Greenbrier, I think.
So that's week 5, October 9th. So when did his injury? Was it in July?
I'm honestly not sure.
I think it was about 2 weeks ago. So he's roughly about 2 full months to recover. Yeah. He's generally take a solid month. If it's a bad one, it's like 6 weeks, So this gives him time to really rehab without having to, go out there and pull it again. It sounds like it was a pretty severe pull. It wasn't a tear, probably a grade 2.
Yeah, it's just the thing about the hammies. It's just, what's weird is that like Belichick says pretty much, if you're pulling your hammy, that's on you, because it's a conditioning injury. I don't quite think that's a little bit harsh, but man, it's as far as I feel like Julio Jones has had a hamstring injury for the past 6 years, so there are things that can linger. And also, is this really okay? I'm a little dubious, but no ID. I doubt Larry would know who this is. I'm doubting Dan knows, but people in the chat know who this is. This is like seriously. This is one of the best music producers in the game right here. This is an OG legend. If this really is him, he says it's him.
Who's that?
No ID. You got to get up. Yeah, I figured I was about to look. No ID is a legend. There you go. Hey, no idea if you want to call in. I'd love to hear your takes. So I think yeah, okay. Graves says defense is going to lead this team. Offense just needs to be efficient and have ball security. Absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I think that the reason why I'm also so freaking I'm so high on the Niners this year is if you go back through the Shanahan era, first of all they don't get interceptions. They had years where they had like 3 interceptions, and they almost never they finished the season mid-pack to between 16 and 32 in turnover differential every year. So as long as Trey takes care of the ball, I think this year is going to be just bananas for like fantasy football stat wise for the defense. Like I think it's going to be fumble recoveries and pick city. I think I think Ward came out and said that he was calling the Niners pick city. It just seems like they have a lot of really opportunistic defensive players and they're all really working in conjuncture. I think Bosa is going to lead the leagues in sack with that extra,
I want to get, would it be great if he got 20?
I don't. What's the record? I mean, TJ Watt had like 20. I think TJ Watt might have set the record last year with missing a game.
So it's over. I know that because guy from the Jets years ago had over 20. What was that guy's name? Man, the older I get, I can't remember guys' names. But Mark Gastineau, I think it was. Yeah,
little too old for me.
Yeah.
I'm Alden Smith. Damn, I cannot believe this is really no ID, but I believe it. I believe it. Shout out to you guys, man. Huge fan of the show. Larry Krueger is the best in the game. What the heck? No ID from Chicago. Are you on here as a Niners fan or are you Bears fan? No ID. You might be, and that also might be a Bored Ape, which is another thing, Dan. That's like the Steph Curry had that got all super popular. The freaking NFTs or whatever.
Oh yeah, cool. I can't wait. I'm waiting for that door. I see Larry. He just kind of just walked out. He didn't sign out, so he's gonna walk through that door any moment.
Yeah. Also, I'm sorry for this weird green screen. I got a green screen. It's actually pretty sick, but I did not like preload anything beforehand and. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. But I'm definitely going to have some funny ass shit on the green screen at some point. Thoughts 30 man on the record. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Before?
If he's healthy and the rest of the D line stays healthy, and if Drake Jackson, gets anywhere near 10 sacks, Bosa they're going to have to not be able to double team him as much, I just wish the refs would look at the films and see how many times he gets totally guys tackles arms completely around his neck. I mean, you see it because that's the only way they can get him because he's so quick. He goes by him and they have to reach out and, club him around the neck. And I mean, I still see that Eric Fisher in the Super Bowl. That last play, that hold just
kills me. It absolutely kills me. I hate how it's also like spin like Mahomes. I love Mahomes. Speaking of no ID says, I'm a Bears fan, but I support Bay Area teams. Curry's my guy. Hell yeah. And speaking of Curry, I think Mahomes is basically the Curry of the NFL, but that was like such an overrated performance. I actually thought Jimmy G outplayed him for the first 3 quarters. And then that play was kind of just, if you give Mahomes time, he's going to make something happen. If you have Tyreek Hill, he's going to get separation, especially versus that crappy Niners secondary at that point. Yeah, Watt and Strahan tied at 22.5. Gastineau 22.
Yeah, Gastineau had like 22. He originally had the record. So no ID is in Chicago.
Yeah. He's like worked with Common. I'm trying to think of guys Common. At this point, Common's a movie star. I don't know if No ID objects to that, but I kind of feel like he's made the transition.
have No ID come into the room, and then when Larry's comes in, we'll be talking to No ID.
Well, probably. Yeah. Here. Okay, I'm gonna send the video chat link in, and then I'm gonna send or put up the phone number if people want to call in. Love to hear your thoughts. I think we're gonna do over unders after when Larry gets back. Just so we can get an opinion on every team.
So go ahead, no ID. Grab that link and come into our.
I think he's just chilling. He's cool, just chilling. He just has to make sure he brings an ID. Stupid. Okay, wait. I'll put up the phone number. Where is it? Custom banner. Yeah, I am kind of glad though, like that the Giants are so dead. They're kind of just like, hey, here's license to talk about the Niners.
I'm serious. I want them to win. I want them to do what the Cardinals did last year. You know how hot the Cardinals got and make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Anything can happen in baseball. I don't see that happening with this team because they can't hit. But if somehow freakishly they got hot and just carried themselves in the playoffs, it would be fun. I know they're not going anywhere, but it would just be fun to be in the playoffs because that's the best time of year is October in baseball with the NFL going and the NBA starting up, preseason. You know, it's just a great time of year. Playoffs I love, but if
also we haven't touched on Chet Holmgren. That is a bummer.
Yeah, the Lins Frank injury, the same KD had.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? He has the same. I mean, he's even lankier and skinnier than KD was, but KD had that injury and missed the whole year. Remember in OKC, and then Holmgren. It's like, is this going to be a history? I mean, this body type is so fragile looking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Damn, I think No ID is going to join us. So yeah, I'll put it in the chat. It's just click the link. All you have to do is
hold on. I'm going to step out for a second here. I'll be right back. I just gotta.
All right, I guess I'll go Colin Cowherd on this by myself. So yeah, I want everyone to I want to make it clear, you know, I'm totally pro Trey. I still think Trey is going to be the best quarterback in this whole draft class, but I'm not going to be like hyperbolic or be expecting, you know, I'm not expecting Trey to even make a Pro Bowl. Making the Pro Bowl is pretty easy. There's a lot of alternates. I'm not even expecting that. I think we just got to give the kid time. And the thing I'm betting on is just he seems like such a good kid. And this has been a lot of pressure. You know, he's gotten a lot of scrutiny in the media and he seems to be handling it great. And, you know, that locker room was Jimmy G's locker room. Those guys all love Jimmy G. And you know what? I thought that it was going to be more of a difficult transition, but it seems like they are all in love with Trey Lance now, and they all get it, and they're all hyping the kid up, and you know, they say, you know, he makes some throws that just nobody else really can make outside of like Josh Allen and Mahomes.
I was watching some of the interviews from him on the Krueger channel last night, and it's just interesting because last year, you know, they kept him out of the media, and he's just so quiet now. He's the man, and you're looking at him, and he's young, but he's going to start looking old pretty quick. He's losing his hair in the middle.
He's a little bit of the Trey Young going on. That's okay though.
Yeah, kind of funny. So, hey, look who just stepped in. He went out, had some waffles, and
big Northgate win over Deer Valley.
Oh wow! I thought you were in the other room eliminating those waffles.
No, but I'll say this: as I went to park my car on the street, big old possum sitting right there.
Oh,
just like
give him the
plain possum. Oh wait. Was that
possums are truly ugly?
Was Dan telling the story about how he like hit the possum like 35 times with a baseball bat and it wouldn't die?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
never did anything. No damage to the guy, but just my stomach. The next morning, I was a wreck. I couldn't sleep all night. I was out there.
Why? Why couldn't you sleep?
Because I was wailing on that possum for hours in the middle of the night.
Lair, also this is awesome, and I'm not sure, you know, I'm a little skeptical because I did just watch that Manti Te'o documentary, so you know,
I've heard, you know what, I was at the gym the other day, I heard a guy talking to somebody else about that. I've heard a lot of people. We heard people talking about it. We were at Panera this week. Remember?
Yeah.
There were people talking about it there. I haven't seen it. I saw the backstory on it from on ESPN, and that was really well done. But I hear the documentary is really well done.
Oh yeah, because like my girlfriend's like, oh my god, wait, did you know this Manti Te'o? And I was like, yeah. But anyway, I was bringing that up because we got a legend in the chat today. No ID, the music producer guy who put out like, I'm pretty sure he he did stuff with Kanye. I know that he did a lot of stuff with Common back in the day, Chicago, like that song I Used to Love Her, but a lot of really famous tracks. And he said he's a huge Larry Krueger fan. Again, not sure if it's a Te'o situation, but he said he'd hop in a little bit later.
And he's what again?
He's a super famous like OG music producer.
Well, that's so funny too, because I actually one of these guys I went to high school with was asking me if I wanted to get some guy and some band on our show, and it's like I didn't even recognize the band, so I was like, well, I don't know, man, I don't know if I want to go that route. Let me see if I can find his note. Yeah, he sent me a note on one of these apps saying, yeah, I manage this band and we're back from touring in Europe, and he's a big Giants Niners fan. And,
why not?
Hey, so I'm like, yeah, what the hell? We'll get him on. I don't know if I've ever heard of his band, but we can get him on.
Oh, he was like mentor. He was like Kanye, like cites him as like a mentor.
Hey, did you get the car thing, Rye?
What?
Did you get the car thing from this morning?
The car. Oh yeah. Ooh, I got it.
We got Ryan Covey here selling cars, Larry, selling Lambos.
Video of it?
Yeah, we got video of Ryan Covey here.
Not actually, but a little.
we should put. You gotta
coffees for closers.
You gotta put some photoshopping and put Covey's face. This could be
there's a lot of possum talk here. I've got this one from Ranger 44. Possums are good, Larry. They eat ticks and fleas.
Hey,
I'll say this, they're ugly as sin.
So maybe you should have a pet possum with your dog so you could kill the fleas and ticks on the dog.
Justin Kerwin, possums are just an overweight rat.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you my story about playing golf in New Orleans and the Raccoons?
No.
So listen to this one. This is pretty good. I'm in New Orleans at a radio convention, the NAB radio convention, National Association of Broadcasters. Same trip that I had that story a few weeks ago about partying with Pharrell and DC in the French Quarter. So now I'm there with Ron Barr. And, most of the activities in the evening, it's late in the week. We've been there the whole week. I think it's like Thursday. And they're like, yeah, are we, we're going to walk around the convention floor again. And I go, I kind of did that already. And, we'd already had our broadcast was in the evening. So it's like, basically I have nothing to do during the daytime. So now it's Thursday, and the guy who runs the network is like, hey man, you're cool if you want. He's a really cool guy, the great Darren Peck. And he said, hey man, if you want, why don't you, go sightseeing or play some golf or do whatever you want to do today. You don't have to hang out on the convention floor all day. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back to the hotel, go to the concierge and say, hey, I want to play a round of golf, but I want it to have a true New Orleans feel because, I'm not from here, and I could play any course that's nice in California. I don't need to play a nice course. I want to play a course that either shows me New Orleans or gives me a flair for New Orleans, right? And he's like, oh, I can reckon in this Cajun whatever there. He's like, yeah, why don't you play? He names some New Orleans Muni. It's the oldest course in America. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, perfect, great. I goes, it's not the green fees aren't too much, right? He's like, no, hell no, the thing's built on a cemetery. Well, I'm like, what? It's built on a cemetery. He's like, oh yeah. But believe me, those people aren't going to bother you. He's giving me that kind of thing. And I'm like, great, let's do it. And he goes, I'll tell him you're coming. I'll tell him you're coming. So I get out there, and my God, it was like July, and I'm in New Orleans, and it is sweaty. I mean, it is hot. It is humid. I got shorts and a shirt, little button down short sleeve shirt. I parked my car and I walked to the what's it called? The little green, the little greens room there, right? The hut, that you check in. And I tell the guy I want to play, and he's like, you're single, huh? Yeah, I'll get you out right now. Get on. In fact, they're out there right now on the first tee. Get out there. And so he's like, yeah, it's a couple good old boys and a guy from Indiana. He said, he was like talking that fast. And I'm like, all right. So now I go, I'm going to need clubs. And he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'll get you a set. You righty, lefty? I go righty. And he hands me these clubs. Boom, I'm out the door. It's about 500 yards to the first tee. I'm walking pretty fast. By the time I get to the first tee, I've sweat all the way through my shirt. I literally had sweat more walking from the clubhouse to the first tee than I would normally sweat in 18 holes on a hot day in California. I walk up to the first tee and shake hands with these guys, and it's this one guy from Indiana in his 50s or so, and two guys it looked like almost like a father-son who were from New Orleans. So we start playing, really good guys. Guy busts out these little Smirnoff shot bottles and throws one to me. He's like, yeah, you're going to need a couple of these. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I need. That's exactly what I need right now is straight vodka dry out of your pocket.
What is it, like 9 a.m. too?
Yeah. No. It was like middle of the day. It was like 11:40 or something like that. And he's like, yeah, we got a tradition. We slam it. So I'm like, whatever. At this point, I'm like a couple years removed from being in college. I'm like, I can drink more than all these guys put together. Yeah. So I'm like, no problem. Go. Slam it down. He immediately goes, man, that was impressive. And I said, oh, thank you. Lambda Chi, Sac State. I'm showing him my fraternity tattoo. Yeah. And I'm thinking I'm cool. Oh, you're in a frat, huh? And he's like, here, take another one. And he hands me one, and this time it's dark alcohol. It's not Smirnoff. I look at it, he's giving me a tiny little thing of Maker's Mark.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, Maker's Mark is you don't want to mix your lights and your darks. You know what I mean? It's not just a
shot.
Yeah, I mean, but it was like a whole little bottle. He's like, yeah, throw that one down. So I throw that one down. So now I'm feeling almost like I want to yak because I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of booze and it's hot. I'm sweating, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to roll with it. So we start playing. We get to like the 9th hole, and here comes the drink cart girl, right? And the drink cart girl is, I'm dying of thirst. And I'm like, oh, there she is. So she comes over, by the way, unbelievably smoking. She's like, yeah, I'm a sophomore at Tulane. I'm like, oh my God. Believe me, in California, the drink cart girl is not smoking. It's just a girl. This girl was like ridiculously smoking, but whatever. That's beside the point. So she, what could you like? Oh, let me get a couple beers. Let me get a soda. Let me get a couple waters. I mean, I literally bought the guys whatever they wanted. I'm like, it's on me. I'm expensing this. They're like, oh, you're expensing it. We're going to get this. I'm like, all right, let's not go to town.
Yeah.
So we get a bunch of stuff. We're sitting there. And we get up on the next tee, and there's people sitting at the tee box waiting. There's another group teeing off, and there's another group who's just walking to the par 3. So basically things had bogged down. And so we had about 10, 15 minutes, and we were going to be sitting there. So now it's me, the guy from Indiana, and the two guys from Louisiana, and the drink cart girl. And I'm trying to spit game at her, and she's, of course, not digging me. And so all of a sudden, over this little bend, I see a raccoon walking towards us, like kind of slowly. And I always think of raccoons as like nocturnal, right?
Yeah.
I always thought of raccoons are kind of pretty much don't like to be out in the daytime, but
usually means they're diseased or like have rabies when they're
I have no idea. I see one raccoon. Behind this one raccoon are 40 raccoons, all walking slowly towards us. 40. I've never seen that many raccoons in my life. In the city, you might see 1, 2, maybe 5 or 6. I've never seen raccoons in like that number.
That's like a raccoon cult.
I know. I'm like, oh my God.
They're all sick.
Oh my God. What the hell? This beautiful girl goes back into the cart, gets 2 bags of corn nuts, cracks them, puts them in her hand, and is walking towards the 40 raccoons. Me and the Indiana guy were like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come back. Don't do it. She crouches down and fed raccoons on this golf course corn nuts out of her goddamn hand. They're like
welcome to Louisiana.
They're like leaning. One of them's like leaning up on her shoulder. Like they're eating raccoon. They're eating corn nuts out of a girl's hand. At this point, I'm like, I could not believe what I was watching. I go,
They're not really
oh my.
educated down there.
I'm like, oh my God, I've seen it all. And like, it was one of those things where if I had had a camera phone, I would have, I would have filmed it. I would have absolutely filmed it. We'd be watching the video right now.
That's hilarious.
So I'm amazed. The guy from Indiana's amazed. The 2 guys from Louisiana were like, oh, they ain't nothing. I'm like, what?
Yep.
He's like, yeah, people down here, people have them declawed. They have them as house pets. I said, what? I go, you're putting me on. He's like, no, not at all. Down here, man, people have them declawed. Yeah, you got to get them declawed. But yeah, they have them as house pets. And I said, he goes, you don't see that in California? I look at the guy from Indiana. I go, is this like are we on TV? Is there like a hidden camera here somewhere? He's like, I know, this is absolutely the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, in Indiana, do you have raccoons as house pets? He's like, I was about to run. He's like, I was about to run away. So we start laughing. And these guys start telling us that, yeah, they're down in Louisiana, people will have raccoons declawed and they'll have them in their house. And I said, are you kidding me? I go, if you're in California and someone invites you to a dinner party at their house and a raccoon walks up to you, man, you're jumping on that table. You're jumping up on a chair. You're running out the front door. And I mean, that's got to be one of the trashiest things I think I've ever heard in my entire life. I go, if there was any person in California that had a raccoon as a house pet, that's what they would be known for. Like from all their friends. Oh, yeah. That's my buddy. Oh, what can you tell me about your buddy? That's my buddy who has a raccoon as a house pet.
Yeah, that becomes your personality.
That would like, I don't care if you're like, worked at the White House or if you're, the Giants head physician, you would be known as the guy who has raccoons as house pets.
Honestly, if you took even a single raccoon to go get it declawed to a vet in California, I feel like the vet would post on some board and you'd be blown up on social media for being like, what would you call that? Like disrupting the ecosystem or something. A lot of vets don't like declawing cats, let alone raccoons.
I was like, dude, I mean, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now. I said, I cannot believe that this is true. Dusty Gold says my art teacher had a pet raccoon.
I mean, I could see them being like really cute it's just the fact that they're, swimming in garbage and stuff all day and possibly diseased.
Oh God. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe what I was seeing. And I remember going back and, seeing my buddies at the hotel. I'm like, yeah, you're never going to believe the round I just had. They're like, what? And I told them the story. Like, they're just rolling, absolutely dying laughing.
By the way, Larry, so for everyone, earlier in the day, Larry and I were having a call and this exact coconut water. Oh, can't really see it, but this exact coconut water, I just started, because I'm a guy that ever since I was a little kid, I just like chug things to completion. I don't really enjoy drinks. And I was just pounding the freaking coconut water. And Larry thought for sure that I was taking just a fatty bong rip in the middle of our conversation.
All of a sudden, Danny, I'm talking to Rye. And I'm hearing this blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Jesus. I had Sac State flashbacks.
Yeah, wait. Be quiet. Get
closer. Yeah, no, it was like you could really hear it go blah, 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 blah.
Okay, one more.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I was convinced. I'm like, bong rip flashbacks. There you go. Unbelievable. Jason Neal says, how does Larry feel that his SI Wildcats won tonight 41-6? There we go. Who they beat? Hey, Jason, who they beat? Probably somebody not very good. My guess is Lowell. That would be my guess. Lowell. Or, we used to play in preseason was the Oceana Sharks. Sometimes we would play Terra Nova. Anyway, I'm interested. I know I'm the only person interested, but Palo Alto. They play Palo Alto High. That's Harbs. That's Jock Peterson's stomping ground. Wow, they smoked Palo Alto. 41-6. Go Cats, get them Cats. Go get them Cats. Yeah, big night tonight for Northgate as well. They got a junior quarterback. Supposedly had a good night. They beat up on Deer Valley out of where's Deer Valley? Deer Valley High School. I think it's
is that by like
somebody remember.
Antioch area.
Antioch. Yep, Deer Valley, Antioch. In fact, the Indians or the Guardians drafted a pitcher named Dan something who played for Deer Valley in the first round a few years ago. And I don't think he ever made it. Yeah, Jason Neal says Deer Valley's in Antioch. But yeah. Brian says, I met a mean possum on a golf course once. Got to hear that story.
You're talking about Louisiana. It cracks me up because I live.
Oh, here it is, Dan Denham. That good call. You wonder about something in this chat, man. Our people are just all over it. Dan Denham was his name. Calba Camiga. Yeah, that was it. Dan Denham. MF says Los Altos High any good? MF, did you go to Los Altos High? Los Altos is a nice area. Have you guys ever walked around Los Altos on a Saturday or Sunday morning? Beautiful little community.
Yeah.
Danny, are you in a convertible right now?
I'm driving. No, I'm in my truck.
Is it a convertible?
No.
I'm seeing lights over your left ear. I guess I'm just looking out the window.
That's just the police chasing me.
MF says, ever drink Jaeger? Oh my God, MF, if I could tell you the story. My roommate in college, Alex. By the way, Dusty Gold, Larry, you're crazy. You're crazy. Oh no, you mean you're lazy. You're lazy. You're absolutely lazy. You're a little crazy, but you're really lazy. But no, my little brother in the fraternity, my old roommate, the great Alex, who lives in Windsor, I believe, dated the Jägermeister girl. That was he picked up on the Jägermeister girl. You guys ever been to like a club and there's like the Jaeger girl?
Oh yeah.
To like give shots of Jaeger. So he like somehow, I forget exactly how he picked up on the Jaeger girl, but yeah, he wound up dating the Jägermeister girl. And then I think it actually kind of bothered him after a while. He's like, dude, she's always hanging out in bars. She's the Jägermeister girl, dude. I'm like, how can you get pissed that your girlfriend's hanging out in bars when she's the Jägermeister girl? Her job was to get drunken idiots like myself to buy shots they couldn't afford.
Yeah.
But I love Jaeger. I love Jaeger shots. In fact, if you got to keep it icy cold. Like if you have any Jaeger, put it in the freezer. Put it in the freezer, store it in the freezer. And you bust out. It won't freeze, I don't believe. You bust out.
So it's not fresh. It's not fresh in, fresh out.
It's cold in and cold down. You definitely want to take Jaeger when it's just icy cold Jaeger shots. And if anybody hasn't had Jägermeister, it's a liqueur and it tastes like licorice. Do you like licorice? That the black licorice?
I enjoy some black licorice.
Oh, I love licorice. Black licorice.
You love licorice? No, you love red licorice. You love candy licorice.
No,
I'm talking about black licorice.
I like black licorice. It's fennel.
Do you? Okay. Well, when I was a little kid, we used to get the black licorice and pretend it was chaw.
Really?
Yeah, because it produces just black spit. So you just sit there.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, autograph day, when I was like maybe 7 or 8, I stood on the main level at Candlestick to get Darrell Evans because I was the third baseman, and Darrell Evans was the Giants' third baseman. So like you could decide who you want to get your autograph signed by. So I got in the Darrell Evans
number
line.
41. What are you number 41?
Yep. They called him Duty because he looked like Howdy Doody, and he sat there. I'm talking about different times. He stood there, and all the kids lined up. And he had a big old red man chaw going that, and these guys used to work on that thing. They would make it into a ball and then they'd wrap gum around it and just have the old Sparky Lyle. I mean, this guy, just a big old, and he's sitting there signing autographs, standing right there, and he's spitting, and it's coming out in like tons and tons of juice. And he's spitting it right there on the main, walkway of Candlestick on the lower deck. There was nobody there. It was hours before the game. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. But here's Darrell Evans just sitting there and just spitting out a ton. I mean, just a stream of black red man juice. Like right there. It's like splashing everywhere. And the kids are in line, and it's like we're sitting there going, oh, that's our guy. That's our guy. And then, the funny thing about it, you did want to copy them, I guess, to some degree, because we did go with the black licorice. But I don't know that it made you want to chew tobacco or anything, but it different times. Now, heck, if you have the can in your back pocket, you're like a villain. You're like a guy who should be, taken into the, put a night in jail. What did he do? What did he do, officer? Oh, he had a skull. He had a Copenhagen tin in his back pocket. Lock him up. You know what I mean? Now it's like, my God, you have a tin in your back pocket, and it's like, what the heck is that? It's just ridiculous. Back then, it was like, guy could be sitting there autograph day, just spitting buckets of juice, and people were just like, ball player. No. Nobody said anything. Nobody was like, oh, that's gross. Nobody was like, oh, don't do that. Don't copy the players. It was just like, hey, that's Darrell Evans. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Yeah, Redman is
a simpler time, man, if you really think about it.
Well, Redman has to be up there with, the products that took the biggest hit from COVID. Because, I have trouble just walking around spitting sunflower seeds the way I used to on the ground, just because I know people still feel a little weird with COVID. I certainly don't think you can be spewing waterfalls of black tobacco on the ground anymore.
Seriously, I had a big old mouth of seeds at Niner practice the other day, and the field is so damn nice.
I know
that I'm like, I can't even take one half seed and toss it. I'd be like, oh my God, I would be afraid. If somebody saw it, they'd be like, hey, you got to go, man. That's it. You got to go. You got to get out of here. But the fields now are so perfectly manicured that, like, if you did throw a sunflower seed on one of these fields, like, you could see it. Be like, oh, look, right there. There's an imperfection. It's a sunflower seed. The 916_49er. Larry even has spit stories. Yeah, I do. I do have a lot of stories, I guess, huh?
Yeah,
We got this one. Dusty Gold. Dan's working off his complete dinner.
Hey,
Sean Proctor says buckets of juice. He's laughing at that. We got this one from Jason Neal. Darrell Evans showed up blitz at the All-Star Fan Fest back in 2007 to sign autographs.
Awesome. Man of the people.
Yeah. Sean Proctor says the stories are the best. Oh, anything at all. I mean, I seriously, almost every conversation we have, it lights me into a new story. Dan, what are you doing right now? You just driving around looking for someone to beat up?
I'm just pulling up to the house, driving through the HOA.
Is there going to be a guard that retinal scan?
Some violations. I'm looking for the violators right now.
I want to imagine Dan as like one of those guys that's like off driving, chasing storms right now. He's driving into the eye of the storm.
The way Dan's rolling around kind of makes me jealous. I used to have, when I was in college, I had a Jeep CJ7. It was an 85 Jeep. I bought it off this guy in Marin County. This guy was so rich that he had like 5 cars. And I bought it in 95 or was it? Yeah, I bought it. Well, no, it was before that. I must have bought it like 93. And the guy it was an 85 and it was 1993. So I figured, okay, it's 8 years old. He only had 11,000 miles on it. I'm like, why do you have so little miles on this Jeep? I thought maybe it was a remade engine or something, that he was kind of lying about the mileage. And he's like, yeah, it was my first of all, he lived in Tiburon, up in the hills of Tiburon. And he had like a Mercedes and he had this and he had that. He's like, it's my Tahoe car. I go, what do you mean? He's like, this is the car that I drive when I go to Tahoe. I go, what do you mean? So he's like, yeah, when I go to Tahoe, I drive this. So I go, well, how often do you go to Tahoe? He's like, every other year. So basically this car basically sat in this guy's driveway and he took it to Tahoe that infrequently. But I had the CJ7 and it had a bikini top, a hard top, and a soft top. Well, I owned it for literally 3 days, put some big ass speakers in the back. And immediately somebody cuts my soft top and steals my speakers. And I had the big Bose speakers. I had the pull out stereo. You could pull those things out. So not just the faceplate
too.
No, they didn't steal the stereo because I pulled the stereo, but they saw the big speaker boxes and they stole both of them. They were anchored to the wells above the tires.
You guys see my wheels?
What do you got?
There's my wheels.
Oh, I thought you meant the actual wheels.
Yeah. I was like, Dan's got some pimped out rims.
Don't tell me the size of the wheels and I'll be able to see it. Show me the sides. Look like 38s, maybe 40s.
What do you think?
I'd say 38s or 40s.
No.
What are they? 42s?
They're 20s.
20s?
The rim size?
Yeah, I thought that looked a little bigger. Maybe it's distorted.
Oh, those are 20s, 20-inch rims.
Those are nice. I like it.
It's a black. What do they call it? A night edition or something. It's silver and black. It would be great if you were a Raider fan.
Dual cab
or a Ram fan. Oh!
You and the missus ever get down in the back of that thing?
Not yet.
Dan, are you built Ram tough?
Come on, Danny, you haven't initiated the back of that thing yet?
I should tell you some high school stories.
No. We don't want to go. We don't want to go that far back. We can't go. Anything pre-Reagan administration is banned on this show.
Yeah.
You can't go. If you're going back to Carter and Anwar Sadat days, we can't go that far back with the stories. We got too many young people in the chat.
I got to pull into the garage here, and it's a single car garage. So watch this. Here's my push the button and my what do you call it? My
your
mirror.
HOA neighbors get pissed.
my mirrors.
Oh, look at you. Look at you.
Hey, fancy, huh?
Look at that.
So let me pull in, then I'll be able to get in, and then I'll get on the laptop. Woo!
Can we see the back seat of that thing? I want to see how much room there is in the back seat.
What? Not too big. I just got rid of my full cab and got a bigger bed. Hold on, that means stop.
I was gonna say though, I used to have the CJ7, and I used to roll around Sac in the nighttime in the summertime with just the bikini top or just no top, just with the just literally just take the bikini top off, take the soft top off, don't even put the hard top on, and just sit there and take in the warm nights of Sac, man. Oh God, it was awesome.
Nothing like
Absolutely
warm
awesome.
Sac at night.
Oh, are you kidding me? Seriously, we'd go shoot stick. We'd go swim at each other's pools. We'd meet for a drink or two, and then you're rolling home in the Jeep with no top on like a 85-degree night in Sac.
Hey, you guys want to see a cool?
I actually dated this girl who lived in like the South area, and the South area of Sac can be rough, right? There's some rough areas.
Hey, I'm getting. Want to see the coolest license plate ever?
Yeah, let's see it.
Whoa. Is that a real license?
No.
Yes, it is.
It's it's not.
There's the sticker.
That's not. You know what? I can see that the numbers have no. There's no. There. It's a flat number. If it was a real number, it would be a profile to it.
Ask Graves. This is real. It's December. Wait, let me get the camera on it.
Show us the if the letters aren't raised, it's not real. It's not real.
Was the idea kind of like to maybe like a .com thing where like maybe if you got this license plate, you could meet Madison Bumgarner and do a transaction with him? Well,
no, I wanted to get it because I was hoping he would be great and win the World Series, and I'd be able to make some money off of it.
Brandon Millard says enjoying that Delta breeze in Sacktown with the top off. Oh yeah. Joshua Shaw says South Sac is terrible. Choppers flying over the neighborhood daily. Yeah, so she lived south. This girl I dated lived south, and man, it was rough. It was rough. I mean, I'd drop her off, and I'd be like, man, I got to get the hell out of here. I was praying I wouldn't break down. Like South Florin Road. You got to know your Sac to know to really understand. But
I don't really know my way around a Sac.
You don't know your Sac. Yeah, you got to know your Sac.
Oh.
Sean Proctor says blonde or brunette? Blonde. Yeah. Great story there too, by the way. I'm working. So my dad gave me money because my soft top got cut into, right? And he's like, how much is it going to cost? I'm like, I don't know, Dad. Probably about $1,000. So my roommate told me, hey, it's going to be $1,000. So I found a soft top or a hard top, and it was like $1,300. So now I needed $300. Then I started spending some of that money on beer and partying and stuff, right, that my dad gave me. So now my dad is asking me, like in October, hey, where's the hard top that I bought you? And I'm like, Dad, because I'm coming home to San Francisco and I've got just the bikini top on the CJ7. And my dad's like, where's that hard? I'm like, Dad, you don't realize it's hot in Sac still. So now I bought myself another month. Now I get to November. I come home for Thanksgiving. I still got the bikini top on. He's like, where's the hard top I paid for? And I'm like, oh, Dad, it's still hot up in Sac. He's like, what? I go, yeah, it's hot. It's hot. I haven't put it on. In reality, I had spent the entire $1,000 on beer. beer and partying, right? So now I go to my roommate and I'm like, man, I'm screwed. I'm going home for Christmas. I got to get the hard top. I don't have a hard top. I spent all the money my dad gave me on the hard top on beer. And he's like, oh, damn, what are you going to do? So he's like, he was working at the docks at the at Macy's in downtown Sac, K Street Mall. And he's like, hey, I can get you a job at Macy's for like holiday fill-in work, and then you can just make enough. And if you work, a certain number of weeks, you'll probably make enough to pay for the hard top before you go home for Christmas on like the 22nd. So sure enough, I go. I really didn't want to do it, but I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So I go and I start working at Macy's, and they're like, yeah, where do you want to work? Do you want to work here? Do you want to work there? And I'm like, I don't know. Then the woman's like, do you like Christmas? I'm like, yeah, I love Christmas. She's like, great. You can work in the Christmas store. So then I'm like, oh man, that's rough. Yeah, it's like 8 hours a day of "Hark the Herald Angels Sing." Joy to the world. Like every Christmas song you could ever think of on a loop. So I work at the Christmas store, and I'm going up to personnel one day to file my paycheck or hand my time card in. And I'm walking through the baby section of Macy's, the Macy's store. And this smoking blonde is just like, hi. I'm like, hi, hey, what's up? So we start talking. And so I gotta come up with a reason to go talk to her, right? So seriously, like the next day, I go up there and I'm like, yeah, my nephew, my sister's having a baby, and I need someone to help me pick out something, and I thought maybe you could help me. So she's like helping me, and she's like thinks, oh, it's so cute. You're buying,
you're so smooth.
You're a college kid, and you're buying baby gifts, and you don't know anything about baby clothes, and aren't you cute, and this and that. So I bought some baby outfit, asked her out. She said yes.
You are kind of cute. You were kind of cute there, Larry.
You put that away. I'm gonna kick your ass, and I'm gonna see you soon too. Seriously, and if I don't kick your ass, I'm gonna have Pasquale take you out back. Hey, Pasquale, Coach Emilio, erase him for me. Snuff him out. Give him the Tony Soprano treatment. Take him down to the bada bing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Hey, Tony, Pasquale.
So I told my roommates, I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to start this whole relationship with this girl with a big lie. So I go, I probably should just tell her. My roommate's like, you're an idiot. Don't tell her. You're a freaking fool. Don't ever tell her. Just, count your lucky stars that this girl is so hot she wants to go out with you. And I'm like, all right, you're right. So now I'm on this date. I have her over. I mix up. I'm cooking for her. I mix up some Lynchburg lemonades. Have you guys ever had a Lynchburg lemonade?
No.
It's just a lemonade with like vodka in it, and there's a couple different ingredients. But so I mixed her up a Lynchburg lemonade. We're queuing. We're having a good time.
What is this, like 1990?
90. No, like 94 maybe.
Oh, so you're about 24. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe earlier, maybe 93, 92. So right there, early 90s. And so I'm feeling good, things are progressing. I'm having a nice night. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to tell her. And my roommate's still like, dude, you're going to F it up. You're going to F it up. I'm like, no, I'm not. I go, watch, this is going to work, and it's going to work well. So sure enough, I'm like, hey, her name was Angela. I'm like, Angela, let me tell you something. I gotta get this off my chest. She's like, what? And I go, remember a couple weeks ago when I asked you out and I came up to the baby store, and it's like, yeah, absolutely. I go, you know what? I don't have a nephew. And she's giving me this weird look, right? And I go, she's like, what do you mean you don't have a nephew? I go, but you picked out that outfit for your nephew. I'm like, it was all bullshit. I actually just wanted to meet you. I saw you that one day, and I was like, I gotta spend some time with her. So I made up the whole story. I tell her this. She was butter in my hands immediately. Oh my God, I can't believe that you would go to that extent for me, and blah, 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 blah. Oh man, my roommates are sitting there going, you lucky F. That could have gone south. You could have screwed that up. She loved it. She thought it was the greatest thing of all time. She's like, "Oh, and is it still here?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's in the other room." She's like, "I'll take it back. I'll return it for you." I'm like, "No problem." Like, I guess I probably should return it since I don't have a nephew. Oh man, it was awesome, and it worked. It absolutely worked. Honesty is the best policy after you lie. After you lie, come clean and be honest.
Absolutely. Always.
How old was what?
How well did it really work, though?
It worked. No, it worked. It worked. Look at Coach Amelia, you sick F. And you want stories. You ain't getting it on YouTube. All right. You might get it on the 6th or 8th hole Monday at the Pasquale tourney, but you ain't getting it on YouTube. Yes. Oh, and the long story short is yes, I did get the hard top, put it on. It was gray. It was used. And it was terrific hard top. I missed that Jeep badly, man. I seriously, when I got married, I finally sold it. I didn't sell it until after we were having our first baby. But once I was having the baby, I'm like, you know what? I gotta say goodbye to the CJ7. So I traded in the CJ7 for a Jeep Cherokee, 2-door Jeep Cherokee green. So when we had the baby and we took her home from the hospital, I didn't want to put the baby seat in, like, I don't know if you've ever seen a CJ7. It has 2 buckets and then the back seat's like a deep bench. So, I mean, I can't put the baby seat in the deep bench of a back of a Jeep. I mean, that's just, come on. So yeah, that was my growing up moment. I got rid. It was it was an emotional day at the Jeep dealership when I traded that bad boy in. He's like, "I can tell in your eyes you don't want to do this." And I'm like, "I don't, but I got to do this." So he's like, "It's all right." You got the salesman was an older guy. He's like, "You got to embrace the different chapters of your life, son." And I'm like, thanks. So some guy who's trying to get, the commission going. I get some guy working on commission telling me about the chapters of my life. Dusty, did it have roll bars? Yes, it did have roll bars.
Hey,
but it wasn't like the cheap ones. It wasn't like one of these Wranglers that you see now. The Wranglers that you see now are seriously cheap. I mean, this was not cheap. The CJ5 and the CJ7 had the roll bar. CJ7, the difference between a CJ5 and a CJ7 is the length of the hood. The hood's a little longer in the CJ7, but it was white. It had a black interior. It was a 5-speed. Thing was awesome, man.
I want to prove to you that this is real here. Okay. This is the plate. And if you look closely, that is signed by Mad Bum. All right. And then you see the December 20.
Yeah.
All right, look at the back here. ADOT, Arizona, DOT. Wait, there's my name.
Why is it not on a car?
Because I took it off. I didn't want to get it ripped off.
You think Mad Bum's that popular?
Well, I thought maybe it was first year he might be, but then they had wait, let me see see it says Mad Bum on there, plate number, record number, vehicle ID.
Okay, all right.
Mad Bum,
I believe you.
Number.
Call off the dogs.
That's it. Anybody interested in buying
Roberto
this?
Duran, no Moss. Come on,
Giants fans, anybody out there?
Eric Gomes says the new Broncos soft tops are cherry. Have you guys seen the new Bronco?
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yep. They've got 2 of them. The Bronco, I think there's a smaller one that's like not really a Bronco. It's like a Sport or something.
Yeah.
MF
says Larry gets after the co-eds. Oh, come on. It was college.
I proved it, Anonymous. There it is. There's the registration. It says Arizona vehicle registration, and it says Mad Bum. That's the plate. No, I was just I was hoping. I really did. I was like, if the Giants weren't going to win it, I was hoping Mad Bum would pitch so great that he would be like a World Series hero, when he first signed with Arizona. But
he was a World Series hero. Now he's an anonymous World Series hero that only gets standing ovations when he goes on the road.
Hey, Arizona.
And by the way, we talked about this the other day, but I mean, it still bothers me when I think about it. the Giants basically, Farhan's like, kind of patting himself on the back. I'm not going to re-sign, Bumgarner. I'm not going to pay him, big money based on what he's done in the past. I'm this genius, smart guy in the present. Well, that works as long as you don't pivot and turn around and pay the exact same amount of money that you could have retained Mad Bum for DeSclafani and LaStella. I mean, that's where Farhan is like, kind of like, what? That's where he kind of loses me. It's like, are you really sharp for not paying Bumgarner? I guess, but if you turn around and give Bumgarner money to a combination of guys that are just totally forgettable, that thousands and thousands of people would go buy seats to see Madison Bumgarner pitch in a Giants uniform. And you moved him because you're so damn smart, but then you replaced him with DeSclafani and LaStella, and now you basically have just two guys who weigh you down the exact same way Bumgarner's deal would, except nobody gives a damn about either of those guys, and they don't draw flies at the stadium. And now the Giants are coming off a 107 win season, and there's literally no reason to go unless you're, looking for vitamin E or something. I don't know why you'd go unless you really enjoy, donating $30 to $80 to park, or you got to have a churro or something. I mean, why would you go to a Giants game, especially now? College football starts Saturday. NFL is coming up on the 11th. Why would anybody go watch a baseball game, a Giants game right now between now and the end of this year? I don't get it. I mean, if you have the tickets, that's one thing, but even so, it still costs a boatload to park and do all the, food and all that. I don't know. I mean, this is why I've never been a season ticket person. It sounds better than it is. Like as a kid, if you'd said to me, "Oh man, this guy's got season tickets," I would look at that guy like, "Oh my God, like you're the king. You're the absolute king. There's nothing cooler than he's got season tickets." Now I look at season tickets and I'm like, "You're a damn fool." Sorry, Danny.
Hey, watch that.
I mean, I would say diversify your interests.
Yeah, Raider Rob might be listening. You out there, Raider Rob? He's a season ticket holder too.
For the Raiders, for football. No, but that's 8 dates.
He's a Giants season ticket holder. He just goes
I don't get
it.
I don't get it. I don't think
Sean
if you said to me, do you want to go? There's 81 home dates. What is in your dream scenario? If I said to you, absolutely, you can go. Here's your deal. I've got season tickets, and you can go as many times as you want on my season tickets. Realistically, how many times do you want to go? I would say 20 games. 20 games is the most I want to attend. I don't want to go to more than 20 games. I don't got that kind of patience.
Yeah. It's just plus all the parking you're gonna have to pay for in the concessions.
I don't like baseball that much. I mean, I do, but I not this Giant team. No way.
Hey.
Some sleepy platoon, no name, nothing. More than 20 times a year. My God, I'd rather do yard work. I'd rather do yard work than go watch the Giants more than 20 times this year.
My biggest wish is
a sentence. It's not that's not a gift. That's a sentence.
My biggest wish is that the Giants season ticket holders, more than 50%, do not renew this year, and that management gets a wake-up call. The only way they're going to ever wake up and put a good product on the field is if season ticket holders wake up and stop paying for this crap. Because I'm not going to pay for this crap. Listen.
How many times did you go? You own all 81, Danny?
Yeah.
How many times did you go?
Well, I went to the first 5 of the season.
Am I crazy in saying that? Like, how many games would you guys want to go to?
I would probably, if I had them, and probably no more than a fourth, 20. Yeah, that would be. And now if they were super good, like
93
or last year, and I was there, but last year, even then, they were not super exciting as far.
I mean, I had a, I mean, I don't want to rub anybody's nose. I had a press credential. I could go anytime I wanted to go. I still probably didn't want to go more than once a series.
Yeah. I mean, you get
that's one of every 3 games.
Yeah. If you have,
and that was for free parking, free seat, free everything. And I still only want to go like one of every 3 games. And I could even go sit in the suite, go sit in the, I don't sit outside on a cold night. I go sit in the suite.
yeah.
And still, I only want to go like once a series.
Yeah, it's a lot to get there and go, but I mean they just have to do something completely different, and I don't know why people would continue to renew when you've had 4 years of Farhan and
Kerwin's been to over 45 games this season. My God. Yeah, Justin, you got to get down to Kinko's and update your resume. You put that on there. Attended over 45 games of the 2022 Giants. I mean, that tells me a lot about you. It really does. It's like this guy's dedicated. I mean, seriously, you're interviewing Justin Kerwin. Guys, this guy went to 45 games of the 2022 Giants. Oh my God. He's the most dedicated employee we've ever run across. Hire him. The dedication is incredible.
It's either dedication or maybe a lack of discernment.
Yeah. Does he have a deep-seated issue?
Oh no, I seriously, man, it is after what did I text you guys in? It was what, 2-3-0, and I said if they score another run, it's over, if not already. And it was. I felt like the game was over in before it was 8-0. When it was 2-0, I thought, oh crap.
Mark Graves says, no wonder Justin yells everything in the chat. He's been to so many freaking games. He's like his nerves are frayed. God damn it! What happened? What's wrong with that guy? Dude, stay away from that guy. He's dangerous. He's been to 47 Giants games this year. What? 47 Giants games? Where's my weapon?
A masochist.
Somebody broke into my house and left me 4 for tomorrow.
Jimmy hasn't gone that much, I bet, this year.
Jimmy's asked me to go a bunch of times, and I've said no every time. I feel bad because Mole's like one of my guys. But we've been doing this, and I want to make sure that I could be here and talk to the audience and have a little fun with you guys. And so I've declined.
This is way more entertaining than being the Giants have only had a few games.
Jimmy Mole and I could sit there and talk about college and life,
you could tell him what really happened with that gal from the department.
Oh, Jimmy knows. I got stories for days. I could sit here and bore you guys for days, and do.
Yeah, we should just have a show that's called Story Time.
Story Time,
Larry.
And
Story Time.
I cross my legs,
and we need some special music for that. It's Story Time with Larry.
I cross my legs and I start turning pages. Oh, okay. Yes. And then Goldilocks.
We got to get Cocc on right now and see if he'll come on and ask him if this is how he sells cars. You got to see this spot, Larry.
Cocc's the man. Cocc's got a great personality. I bet you he sells cars really well. Really well.
He does too. This is somebody sent me this today and it was hilarious, and I was just like, this is like Pasquale selling cars, man.
Who's someone at the door?
Who's at the door? Might be Mole. Who's there?
Is it Chardal?
Hello?
Chardal, and I'm calling from Fremont, California.
I got it. It's Chardal from Fremont, California. Hey, Chardal, you were the third lucky caller of the night. What can we do for you?
So as a longtime San Francisco Giants fan, this 8-0 loss felt like a punch in the stomach by the Minnesota Twins.
It was only 9. It was 9.
It was 9. You didn't see the last run. There was 9. But go ahead.
As a longtime San Francisco Giants fan, this 9-0 loss felt like a punch in the stomach by the Twins. We basically gave the game away to them, and we didn't even try. Maybe even got a hit, but we'll definitely bounce back and get the win in game. In game 2 of this series, and hopefully tied up 1-1, and then the momentum will shift back in favor, and we are known as the San Francisco Clowns, not the Giants.
It will be
not even like John Wayne Gacy, like not even threatening clowns.
Momentum will shift, and the Giants will go on.
And why are you so confident in tomorrow? Who's pitching tomorrow? Is tomorrow Billy Swift? Who's on the mound tomorrow? Jason Schmidt?
Cobb.
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob's been pretty good actually the last couple starts, huh?
I really love Alex Cobb, and I think he's going to do great pitching against Sonny Gray.
There you go. Cobb and Gray tomorrow.
Hey, Chardal.
Chardal, what are you doing on this Friday night? What do you got going? Are you getting ready to hit the clubs? Or you hitting the scene? What do you got going?
I just went to Great America with my friend. We went on some rides, had some great times, listened to great music.
What ride did you go on? Do they still have the tidal wave? Do they still have the demon? Do they still have
the demon still?
The demon's still there?
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, I like the demon. The demon was pretty good. How about Orleans Orbit? Is that thing there?
That's still there, but it's a pretty old ride. It's been there for a while now.
Yeah, I'd say. How about the tidal wave? Is the tidal wave still there?
No, that's not there.
No.
What kind of music was there? Was there a band down there tonight?
Yeah, there was a band down there.
Do you remember who's playing?
Playing all 80s hits.
Oh, nice. Hey, I was down in Santa Cruz a few years ago, and America was down there on the beach playing right off the boardwalk. It was pretty
really
cool. Yeah.
Santa Cruz is nice. Santa Cruz is nice.
I got the Giants winning by a score of 12-0 over the Twins to give them a little taste of their medicine.
Hey, Chardal, do you like to bet?
Don't get them going.
Huh?
I don't. Like I said,
his
I don't
parents told
bet.
him it's not a good idea.
I told my parents told me never to bet, because if you bet a lot of money and your team ends up losing, you literally lost a whole lot of money. So I don't.
Yes.
Like betting.
Darn, I really wanted to bet you on that 12-0 score tomorrow.
Better.
Chardal, how old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
26. Yeah, I think your parents are wise. Listen to them. Don't bet. Don't even get started on it. And because they have summed that up correctly. If you bet a lot of money and you lose, you have lost a lot of money.
But I will take that bet, Chardal, and I'll give you 5 runs plus on that. So the Giants only have to win by 7.
Chardal, do you think less of Dan because he wagers so frequently?
I don't think anything less of Dan. I think he's a really nice guy. I don't say anything bad of him.
Okay.
Thank you, Chardal. I don't bet a lot, Chardal. I'm a small bettor. I've actually, I've been betting now for.
But my friends love to bet when they go to the casino. They love to put their bets on the roulette table.
That's their game, roulette.
Roulette's, as far as betting goes, honestly, it's not bad.
If you go into a casino, there we go. New Light Productions, new YouTube member.
New Light, let's go.
New Light became a YouTube member. Thank you, New Light.
Like it.
So what are the tips that you would give the Giants if they want to come into Minnesota for Game 2 and get the win get the win against the Twins?
I'd say it's a toss-up. They're a 500 team. And they're probably due to win another game or two. And then they're going to hover around 500 the rest of the year, Chardal.
The Twins are crap, though. The Twins just found a Giant team that they can beat.
I think the Giants.
What's up with the Bay Area sports teams right now? I don't know what's going on with all the sports in the Bay Area. The Yankees, got the 3-2 win of the A's. The Giants lost to the Twins 9-0. Various sports are not doing so great right now. I don't know what's going on with the sports in the Bay Area. Like the Niners lost in their preseason game 17-0. I know it's a preseason game, but losing in a football game is never, that's never acceptable.
Hey, Chardal, do you have any thoughts on fantasy football this year? We still have a couple spots to fill. We're still waiting on people. So
it is kind of gambling, though.
I could join I could play a little fantasy football. I'm really into it.
You are. So you promise to be a dutiful manager?
Yeah.
There's a buy-in, though. And you could lose.
But
think about the shame that would bring.
It's
a lot. It's overwhelming. I realize.
Yeah, and
losing cost. but I would risk it.
Sean Proctor says the Warriors won the championship, bro. Isn't that enough for you?
Yeah.
MF says I'm going to be the Farhan of our fantasy league. Great. With like 7,000 trades.
Oh, wow. Yeah, he's going to be like.
MF says he's loving the Krug shows this year. Thank you, MF.
Yeah.
Anonymous says, is Gordon Biersch still under the Bay Bridge? Guess what? Gordon Biersch hasn't been there. That was a great little spot. My wife and I, when we were dating, we used to go to lunch there all the time. Gordon Biersch, have the garlic fries, have they have these incredible pot stickers. James Foster says, boom, I'm now a member. $2 donation.
So who do you think that most in next season in Brooklyn? Is it Kevin Durant? Is it Kyrie Irving? Is it
what was the question?
Simmons? Is it Sean Marks? Or is it Steve Nash?
What's the question?
Who do you think's at most pressure for Brooklyn next season? Is it Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving?
I think it's got to be KD,
Sean Marks, or Steve Nash. Which one out of those five things they're at most pressure for?
I would say the guy who's, if you say pressure as it relates to their continuing employment, I would say Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Because Marks is, I think, really an established guy at this point from his years in San Antonio. I think that he's well thought of around the NBA. Nash, especially if that team doesn't come together, I think he'll be the guy. I mean, it's much easier to get rid of the coach than it is the players. And Nash is a Hall of Famer and he's well established, but I think he's the guy that will get he'll get axed if they don't get it going. I'll say this too. I wouldn't want any part of that team. You got, flat earth Kyrie, you got narcissistic KD who's battling it out with 12-year-olds online. Yeah. You've got Ben Simmons who's showing up to practice with a cell phone in his sweats and can't shoot free throw. Yeah. They are a mess. They are a mess.
I guarantee you that Sean Marks had to go along with what the owner wanted, but if it was up to Sean Marks, he would have gotten rid of Kyrie like nothing. I mean, he would have been gone, and Ben Simmons would be traded if he could trade him, and he's just got a mess. Kyrie is a freak show, super talented, but my goodness.
He's a great player, but he's screwy.
Just like, I think I'm going to take this week off. My nephew's birthday party.
Making bad movies and just. Brian Lucena says my wife looks forward to the Krug show. She listens and goes on rants about the Giants. Brian,
that's awesome.
Brian, is there any way you could call in and have her go on a rant? Because I would love to hear your wife rant on the Giants.
Please, Brian. We need a female rant on the Giants. That would be just awesome. Sure. That would make the show.
If the Brooklyn Nets were to fire Steve Nash, do you think that Mark Jackson would be a good replacement for Nash?
Oh, he'd be ideal. He'd be absolutely ideal. For that tire fire, he'd be ideal. You got some guy. Not only do they have all these guys who hate each other, now if you don't show up at chapel, you're sitting the bench because of Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson is never going to coach again in the NBA. I really believe that. And I think it's because that whole it got around that he really wanted guys to go to chapel before games, and it's 2022. You don't tell NBA players or any people, period, in 2022 that they have to go to your religious affiliated event in a work setting. You don't. It breaks like a million different codes, and million different unwritten rules. Puts people in unfavorable positions, and they're just not going to do it. So I think that move alone, got enough pub through Andrew Bogut and his complaining that I think Mark Jackson is, he'll get an interview because, he's a big name in New York City. He'll get TV jobs because he played for St. John's and he played for the Knicks, and New York has the biggest population. And so they're always looking at people who can move the needle in the Big Apple, and he can, but that's it. I mean, the stick on TV because, there goes that man again is never there. He goes again coaching.
Hey, Chardall, great to hear from you, man.
He's a long time guy from Brooklyn, New York, so I think that he will be a perfect fit for the Nets.
Yeah, we want to open the line. We want Brian's Lucina's wife. We want Brian to call and get a rant going.
I think she's in Argentina, but
really, she's in Argentina.
Calling into the show, and I wish good luck to the Krug show. I'm gonna always be watching you. You're gonna be one of the top channels out there. So I wish you all the love and support, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.
Hey, Chardall, man, that's a sweet comment, man. We appreciate you, brother. Have a great Friday.
Good to hear from you, Chardall. Hey, Chardall, do you spell it with your first name with a C or a S?
S.
S. Okay.
Chardall, if you the number that you're calling right now, send me a text and I'll send you an invite for the fantasy league.
Okay, I'll look for that. I'll look for your text and I'll join the fantasy league.
All right, awesome.
There you go. Hey, the draft is Sunday night, so we make it happen. 49ers says Larry is killing me. Keep this going. I'm not sure what I said to kill him, but maybe one of the stories.
Oh, I said that we're probably gonna call it soon.
Oh, Nick J says Chardall, rack him.
We didn't get to our over-unders, man.
I know. I think we have to table that. I mean, we do have a lot of time in between. I mean, we still got a couple, like a week and a half.
3 weeks or 2 weeks.
3 weeks, a couple weeks, 3.
Well, almost. The Thursday night game is in less than 2 weeks now, 13 days.
Eric Gomes says, good age. Listen to your parents. Yeah.
Do we have any more callers?
Anonymous. He says, Larry, the tidal wave was changed to Top Gun when Paramount bought Great America. I'm dating myself.
Yeah, somebody call in 510-823-0534. That's 510.
Sean Crowder was gonna, but I told him we were probably gonna close it up soon, wrap her up.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to keep going.
I just wanted one more. I want a random caller that has maybe never called in before.
Okay.
That we just surprise us when we answer the door. 510.
You want a video call? You want a random video call?
Oh, a video call would even be better. Somebody jumping in.
How do we do the video call?
You put the.
I'll just send the link for it.
MF says Vish Kumaran is a stud. Vish is going to be on the Krug show on Monday. Monday.
Well, wait, we got a caller coming in.
No. They hung up. I'm guessing they're probably audibling
for the video. They want to get live on the Krug show, and they want to send the video out to all their contacts and tell them that they were a star guest.
So let me give everyone an update on the fantasy league. So right now we have one more spot open for the main. Oh, no. We have one more spot open for the number 2 league. Right now, I've had to make a few adjustments because people haven't gotten back. Oh, we're getting a call. All right.
Ranger 44 said he would call in, but he's only wearing boxes at the moment.
I'll spare you the trauma. That is awesome.
He looks like what's that guy's that actor Sam Elliott? Oh, this is
that is voice. Sam Elliott. That's not.
I was going to say that.
Oh,
Danny.
I'm just going. I didn't even think about that. It just looked like him. I was like.
MF says Bob Fitzgerald announcing Niner games. He only does the preseason, just does the preseason. So he's done for the year.
Unless
Sean Proctor says, should I hop on? Should he hop on?
Yeah, sure.
What the heck? I would say, let's see it. We're almost 2 hours in.
Well, we were also 36 minutes in before somebody knocked us out.
Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
And
we had somebody jumping in there for a second ago.
Why don't we run ads and then maybe we finish with somebody?
Okay, why don't we do that? We'll run our commercials here and then we'll be back with a little bit more of the Krug Show.
Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, make sure you use telmetrics.co, Telmetrix.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the crew. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coach Emilio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com, or at his number, 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks to Dan Coach Emilio and all the people at Secure Money for being proud sponsors of the Krueger Show. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueger Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueger Show t-shirt, the Krueger Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueger Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com. Often imitated, never equaled.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
So New York Style Sausage was started over 7 years ago. We are the largest producer of fresh Italian sausage on the West Coast.
What makes our sausage in New York Style is really the recipe came from back east, from New York, you know, from Connecticut.
If you look at all of our labels, there's maximum 4 or 5 ingredients, which we're really proud of.
There's no preservatives, no MSG, fresh in, fresh out.
The pork comes in fresh, goes out fresh. There's never any freezing throughout the process. We've always used fine quality cuts. We're never gonna deter from that. It's one of the reasons why our sausage is so good. I guarantee you put our sausage up against anybody else's from a flavor standpoint, no one will beat it, hands down.
Hey, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Go buy a package of the New York Style Italian sausage. Guaranteed you will love it, guaranteed.
We're back on the Krueger Show. I'm Larry Krueger, Ryan Smith, Dan Coach Emilio.
And we have a word from our latest sponsor. When you've had a hard day at the office and you've just gotten home and you don't feel like cooking and it's been a long day and you're tired, it's time for Completes. 17 grams of protein, no artificial ingredients.
Yeah, right.
Says it right on the label.
I don't believe that at all. That'd be a great commercial. Like somebody debates the facts of the commercial right in the middle of it. I don't believe that. I've had that. Tastes totally fake.
Try the tasty chicken breast with rib meat and mashed potatoes with gravy.
Wait a second. If it's breast, why is it rib meat? You know, think about that.
It's right next to the breast.
Yeah, it's in the breast area, near, but it's actually the rib meat. If it was actual breast, it'd be 3 times the cost.
Just visit. All you have to do is vent that tray, put it in the microwave for 1 minute, remove the film, serve and enjoy. Careful, contents and tray will be hot. But, ladies and gentlemen, many mixed flavors. This is the chicken.
I would love it if Danny could file a lawsuit against them for it was too hot, like that woman who said the McDonald's coffee was too hot. Danny becomes like a filthy millionaire because he gets like 14 million, in a settlement because his completes were too hot and it burned his hand.
Oh man, I'm about ready to snack though. You know what my favorite snack is? What do you think?
Well, we can probably guess since we've seen you eat like pretty much continuously the entire time you've been on the show.
It's
I would say it's those ice creams that come in a package. You tear it. Drumstick. No,
I've actually got an item that I haven't put on the show yet, so it's making its debut tonight. But my favorite snack is this.
Macadamia nuts?
Yeah, with caramel, or caramel, however you want to say it. Milk chocolate, salted caramel clusters. Oh, these things are
eat one. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, they are really good. Hold on.
It's Costco.
Yeah. Let me take a little water first. Got to take that digestive aid pill, for dairy.
Whatever the hell that means.
These are good. These are really good. Wow.
What's the inside? Oh yeah! Look at the nougat kind of hanging over there. Look at that piece of nougat.
These are really good. Macadamia nut feels like you're in Hawaii almost.
Oh my god, that's a beautiful treat.
Man,
if I ate the way you ate, I'd be like 750.
I'm not that bad though. Look.
Yeah, but let's start how about from the side? I see kind of a boiler.
There's a little boiler there, but
how's the handles?
Not bad.
How's the obliques? Do you have Dunlops? Any Dunlops?
Oh, that's my brother. It's funny. It's like this one guy, my dad's friend came over. And like, hey, Bob, I didn't know you worked for Dunlop.
How old's your dad?
Well, he passed away, but
okay. I was going to say
this is like 20 years ago. My dad when he was in his 60s, 20, probably 25 years ago, and his buddy comes over and he's like stumbles up the stairs and like, hey, Bob, how you been? So I didn't know you started working for Dunlop. And he says, what? I don't work for Dunlop. What do you mean? He says, well, you're advertising them around your. He's like, you're advertising them around your waist.
It's not good, man. When you get the Dunlop and it's that and the Bill Parcells crotch cheese. When the gut's so big that finally you give in and you decide you're going to tie the belt around the mid, and then you've got a gut that goes beneath your belt. We used to call that crotch cheese, and it's a bad look. It's really a bad look. Look at Ryan. Look at Ryan. MF says, my dad and I are going to Geno's East in Chicago. Definitely check out Geno's East.
Nice. So you're going to Chicago. You doing the
he is.
Giants, Cubbies, and the Bears?
Tony
Niners?
says, where's the freaking gabagool?
I know you're going for the Niners. Here we go. We got Is this a mystery caller?
It's a mystery. Hey, welcome to the Krueger Show.
Yo. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Who's there?
Oh shit, bro, it's crazy, man. It's a long time listener, first time caller.
What's your name?
This is TJ.
TJ, what's up, TJ? How are you, man? How's your Friday going?
It's good, man. How's yours?
Well, Giants just lost 9-0. We did a Niner post game last night. They lost 17-0. It hasn't necessarily been a stellar weekend for sports, but we're hanging in.
Yeah, it's good. I called in. I got a hot take, man. I got a hot take that's ready to be said.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm fired up.
Do we have to push the 7-second button here, or are we ready to go?
Seriously. How hot is this hot take?
Javon Kinlaw, 7+ sacks this year. Book it right now.
Ooh, that's a lot,
You know what?
man.
I will book that.
Wait a second. I would go under. You know why? Because he's played 18 and a half games, or he's played 18 games, and he has 1.5 sacks. Now, he does look quicker this year, and they do have a better, deeper line, so he may get some sacks, that kind of the quarterback, kind of runs up into his lap. But man, that would be a high number for sure.
I like it though. I like it. I mean, if you think about it, okay, the one thing that is you got going for you is no more Russell Wilson in the division. So that means
Good bold take.
Yeah. I mean, so that's two less games with a running quarterback. So that gives more time for Kinlaw to potentially get home and then, improve secondary. Who knows?
Hey, maybe he gets to Stafford like 3 times this year. That would be nice.
How incredible did Kinlaw look rushing the passer in that Viking game?
Oh, he looks insane.
He looks so good right now. It's unbelievable.
You know what he looked like? Some of those he looked like he was a high school senior playing against junior hires on the line, just throwing them to the ground. He's
bulldozing dudes, 300-pound NFL guards, making them look like, as Tanny said, high school kids. No doubt. That's a good take, man. You got anything else on your mind tonight? What do you think of the show?
I think I just want to call and say, big time fan of you guys, man. I mean, big time fan from the Bay Area too, from local kid.
Where are you living now?
No, I'm in Modesto, man. I'm in the Valley.
Nice.
All right, TJ. So, did you go to school in the Bay Area, or you grew up in Modesto?
No, I'm from the Bay Area. I'm from South Bay. Graduated from Lincoln.
Lincoln High in San Francisco?
No, in San Jose.
Oh, gotcha. Well, awesome, man. We appreciate you chiming in. Big sports fan. Are you Giants, Niners, Warriors, or you have a East Bay affiliation somewhere?
Giants, Niners, Warriors, Sharks. So
there you go. Just like me.
All right. Very good. Just like the rest of us. Awesome, TJ. Hey, we'll keep call back and keep listening. And are you a subscriber to the channel?
Yeah, I'm subscribed, man. You already know, man. You guys are the best thing on YouTube, man.
Oh shit, we're getting
I appreciate that.
Awesome.
I appreciate that.
Thanks, TJ.
Thanks so much, TJ. I'm going to accept another call. But dude, thanks so much. Call back another time.
TJ said we're the best thing on YouTube. Wow. What's going on? You're welcome. You're on the Krueger Show. Who's this?
Hello?
Did we lose him?
Doorbell dash? Doorbell ditch?
Might be a doorbell dip. I'm going to try something funky right now.
I bet maybe when you called right in, it got messed up. Look at that, Ryan in the.
How funky is this? Yeah.
See now, Ryan, put that last picture up. You had the fantasy team.
Yeah.
One of the things that if you're a Krueger Show member, once you pick your fantasy team, if you want to, send us a copy of your fantasy team, we'll put it up behind us, and then we'll talk about your team and kind of break it all down if you want. during live streams at any point, really.
Hey, Ryan, is your
Yeah,
hair
here's the
really
video.
blowing, or is that the effects of the
what?
screen? Is your hair really blowing, or is that the?
He's got a
effects?
fan going. He's got a little bit of a fan.
Going.
Okay. Oh, here's the car commercial. This is great, Larry. You gotta see this.
Is that Cocc?
No, we're gonna make it Cocc. Start it from the beginning.
Well, okay, I should probably wait.
You got to get some volume.
Danny's
though.
an expert in demonetizing our live streams.
This was hilarious.
Okay.
Okay.
MF says, "What if I'm playing Larry in Fantasy Week?" It doesn't matter. We'll break it all down.
Got to start it from the beginning.
We
though.
may talk trash, but we'll break it all down. Dusty Gold says, "I'm in my own fantasy league. Would be fun to join you guys. Do we have any more spots in the fantasy league, Ryan?"
I think he's had to step out for a second.
I'm back.
Dusty Gold asks if he's like he'd love to join in.
Any more spots?
Well, okay. So we have in the main league, we have one slot available. So I told Bay Area GM, I think it was, I think that was his name. I told him he could have it. Now he hasn't joined.
Dusty says, "What's the buy-in?" I think we're gonna make it real low, like 20,
25.
right?
25.
Yeah.
25 buy-in.
You know what? Okay, this would really help me out, everyone. Okay, somebody that's in Krueger show.
Tony says I called dibs on the last shot. It's the last slot, but Tony, you got to be a member. You got to be a member, and you're not in green, so you're not a member. Just click being a member, and we'll consider you. MF says, "What's the official buy-in?" You're guessing it's 25.
Yeah, 25.
Hey, do you want to? It's 11, almost 11:30. You know, we're not going to go past midnight for sure. But do you want to get Sean Proctor in here? Do you want Sean to call in?
Yeah, sure. Sean, call in. Wait, we actually have someone that's still on the line. Hello. Okay, I'll hang that up. Okay,
Jim
wait.
Olay says, "What's up, all? Had to dip out earlier after the crash." Yeah.
Oh,
Jimmy, what's up, Jimmy? Good to see you, man.
Someone's at the door.
This Sean?
Who's there?
Chardol.
Oh, Chardol!
Double caller, man.
You broke the number one rule of the live stream. You can't come in twice.
Oh.
Well, he comes in fresh.
He comes in fresh and leaves fresh.
Yeah, seriously, you gotta come in fresh. You gotta leave fresh. Just give us one great, awesome comment, and like that, you're gone.
Hey, Larry. I would really love to join you guys on the Krug show, and I want to do these post game shows with you. That would be a big honor. I wish you could could you please put that in consideration and think about it?
Well, Chardol,
I'll talk to the boys I'll talk to the boys on the board, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, Chardol. I'll tell you what, though.
Because we have a board of directors.
We do have a board. Okay,
we'll get to the board of directors.
I've got a concept I was thinking of last night after I was rapping with Nick Martinez, and I was thinking I didn't.
Was it freestyle? More kind of freestyle?
Yeah, no idea on the beat. No, but I was thinking, like, if this thing keeps growing, I think there's a possibility of, clearly it wouldn't turn into Barstool Sports, but, maybe the idea of it becoming a little bit of a network where people,
people rap.
People, they have rap battles. No. They were, I don't know. Maybe they have some shows or something on the network. Maybe not on the Krug show, but like have some sort of Bay Area sports, like built by the fan network. I don't know.
I can picture Chardol being like our Larry Bud Melman, where he could like check in with us. And Chardol, look at it this way: you've already been on the Krug show twice tonight.
Yeah, twice. And maybe he could become the sideline reporter.
Maybe we could get Chardol starting the Krug chants in the bleachers instead of Danny.
That would be awesome.
How epic would that be?
That would be awesome.
I have my own YouTube channel. I would love to have you, Ryan and Dan come and join me on my YouTube channel, we could do a 49ers post-game show with all you guys. It'll be really fun.
Who's the biggest name you've had on that channel?
He had Grant Cohn for like an hour.
Yeah, I had Grant Cohn for an hour.
Wow. I don't know if we can top that.
Well, Chardal, we wouldn't be able to do it post-game just because we have other responsibilities aside from the YouTube channel we have to take care of. But I mean, I'll definitely jump on your channel sometime.
Can we do a pregame show?
Okay, we could maybe do like a pregame show, like not the day of the game.
I usually like to drink heavily before the game starts. Otherwise, I would.
How about the pregame?
On start after the 49er game.
I didn't even drink until I started watching the Giants this year, and then I've taken up drinking, and I like to drink a lot in the pregame. It helps me get through the game. All right, Chardal, we got to jump. Wait a second. I hear your mom calling. Chardal, I hear somebody's calling. You better go. We got to jump.
Hey, we got to get that ad spot up, man. You got to start it from the this is hilarious. Guy selling a car back east.
There we go.
See if we can get that. But get the volume ready to crank.
And he's like, Larry's politely saying, nah. No, it's not that.
Check this out.
Dusty Gold. Larry gets smashed and clears his mind.
Wait, I don't. Okay. Why can't I pause this goddamn video? Oh, here. Wait, how do I start it from the beginning? I know things about technology and I can't figure this out.
Yeah, I haven't been able to figure that one out either.
Yes, but then
God damn you, Zuckerberg.
Just turn the volume down and go to the end, and then start.
Okay.
Look who's in the green room right now, just absolutely trashing the place.
Yeah, but look at Proctor, man. He's throwing. He's eating that.
Oh, look at that!
Dang, look at that! He just fired that, man, and look at him chowing on the sub. He's got chocolate pretzels in there. Don't eat our pretzels. Oh, man.
James Foster said Krug and John Lund even were on ESPN at one point. Haha. We were on ESPN every Saturday. All right, let's add Sean Proctor to the stream. What's up, Sean? Good to see you, man. Happy Friday, man.
Yeah, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I think
Giants 9-0. Niners shut out yesterday. We're kind of waiting on the big cut down day coming here in a few days. And what's going to happen with Jimmy? What's going to happen with Purdy? We got some things we're watching.
I may or may not have had a little wager on Niners -2.5. Ugh.
I saw that, and it made me bet on them. And then now.
What was the wager?
It was 2.5.
You took the Niners.
Yeah. Niners
for last night's game?
What's that game?
For the game against Houston?
Yeah.
You bet. Oh, you're a serious junkie betting on preseason, man.
Oh, no doubt. Dude,
I don't bet nothing on preseason, man.
No, I was a little too fishy, actually, to be honest. I almost didn't fire, but I was like, they looked really good. I thought that some guys, when the backups got in, they would be competing for a spot, right? So they would play well. Not good.
Here's my only thing I'll say about gambling, and I don't know anything more than anybody else. But when the spread seems off, go the other way.
Totally.
If you're looking at the spread and you're like, man, I don't get that spread, take the team you were gonna bet and go the other way.
Well, the real kicker was they opened up at -4.5, right?
So the money came in on Houston.
So no, a lot of money.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes.
So, money came in on Houston and it moved the line down to 2.5. So that's fishy in itself.
Right.
So I should have trusted my gut. It's all good.
Yeah.
Just getting warmed up for the season.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the preseason goes, it's like, you just got to bet on the Ravens.
I thought I had a safe bet tonight. I took the Giants. The first 3 innings, I took the under. It was 2.5. And I said, Giants ain't going to score nothing in the first 3 innings. I knew that. But I didn't expect Minnesota to get 3 runs in the first 3 off Wood. I thought Wood's usually pretty good for 4 or 5 innings, I'm thinking, so let's spot the Twins 2 runs in 3 innings. I'm fine. 8-0. It's like it was 2-0 after 2, and I'm thinking, okay, Wood, he shut him down in the second, like in 7 pitches. I'm thinking, go out there in the third, knock him down. I win the bet. No, 8-0 after 3, and I'm like, Jeez.
The Giants have burned me so much this year. I stopped betting on the Giants a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I always bet against them now, but I didn't. I thought I was just trying to take the simple. They never scored until late in the game.
Tonight was an Atlanta Yankees parlay, money line parlay.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good one. They played 1.25.
What do you I'll tell you the one if you're betting this, tomorrow NFL. The one game that kind of would intrigue me, and it's preseason, you got to factor that all in. But the Rams are so top heavy, and the Bengals are 0-2 in the preseason, and they're at home, and it's Bengals minus 2.5. That kind of makes me think. That makes me think Bengals. But
the Rams will play anyone, right?
But maybe you want to go the other way.
But if you go exactly what you just said, then you'd be betting on the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, like it's not. I look for the only time I've ever. Danny said, "Oh, you bet the preseason." Wow, and then Rye's like, "Oh, bet the Ravens." The only time I've ever had any success betting the preseason is I bet against the Cowboys almost all the time in the preseason. Once, like in the mid 90s, like 94, 95, 96, when they were like the Rams, where they had this top heavy roster with all these stars. and that to me was like, okay, bet the team that has no depth. Bet against the team that has no depth, I should say. And
Malay is setting the spread. In addition to the Niners being favored by 7 at Soldier Field, Malay is saying that he's favored by 7 versus MF in terms of beers.
They're going to get together. Yeah, they're going to get together at Soldier Field.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, Jimmy, Malay, they're both going to do a...
I would say I might have to put my money on Malay. He can throw him back. I've seen it.
That's going to be interesting. They're both probably going to the Giants as well. Now, I would expect if by the time they get to Chicago, the Giants will be getting close to being mathematically eliminated. That probably maybe not that weekend, but pretty close. So, they have a chance to the Padres have a chance to put them away.
Has anybody delved into these yet?
Chocolate pretzels. Ooh, Danny.
These are from Costco.
White chocolate or chocolate.
Let's find out together.
I love white chocolate ones.
So it has their pretzels, and they have
look at that.
Caramel.
Yes.
In a white and milk chocolate drizzle.
Ooh,
no joke. These are right.
Take a bite of that. Take a bite of that.
Costco the other day, and they had the person doing the popcorn. And have you guys had the zebra popcorn?
Oh my god!
Oh, I love the zebra popcorn. Popcornopolis. Oh man, I got so sick on that stuff. I bought bags of those things, man.
Look at Danny getting lit up.
I got me some real true reflux after eating a couple of bags of those.
Seriously, I'll say this.
After he left the strip club, he's like, "Oh man, I dropped stacks all over the." And he's
I got a buddy who gave me for Christmas one of those tins that's sectioned off into 3 sections.
Chicago.
Yeah, and it was like regular popcorn, but it's like stale as hell. It's like Jesus Christ, it's the worst. Then it's the caramel corn, which is like heaven. It's just so damn good. Then there's the cheese corn, and my wife was giving me a hard time because the cheese corn had like bled into the caramel corn, and I was like picking around the cheese corn for the caramel corn because the cheese corn smells like vomit.
It does.
Yeah.
It's like literally vomit. I'm like, God,
what does your wife call you when she gets mad at you?
What does she call me?
Does she say to you? She's like, Larry, or does she give you a Larry?
No.
Like your mother, Lawrence.
No, my mother would call me Lawrence.
Yeah,
Lawrence. Oh my God, I knew I was in trouble. I don't have that kind of like soup. Like I can't, to me, the grating voice, there's some deal breakers with women that I always stayed away from. I don't care if you're smoking, if you have a grating, terrible, awful voice.
Exactly.
That's it. I had this girlfriend who was from Green Bay. She was gorgeous. I called her Miss Green Bay because she was like that hot. Like she literally could be like Miss Green Bay. I was in Green Bay for a weekend. She was easily the hottest girl that I saw the whole weekend. I'm like, my God, She was no, she wasn't. I could show you pictures, but no. She Miss Green Bay she had her shit together. She had, she made like 6 figures. She was like a president of a company. She was really sharp, beautiful. But she had this Packers thing. Pack.
Was she a shareholder?
Oh my God. I mean, every time it was like the worst voice of all time. I mean, I was just like, seriously. She said, I'm coming out to see you. And I looked at the calendar. It was the weekend the Pack was playing the Niners in the playoffs. I'm like, don't come that weekend. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Either you're going to be upset because she was super into the Pack, or I'm going to be upset. And if I'm upset, I'm probably not going to want to go out and this and that. No, I'm going to come to town. So she comes to town. Packers win. Newsome came up with the fumble recovery in the first quarter, if you remember that, on the special team play. It was all Green Bay.
That was the first year Green Bay was like won.
Yeah, it was. I forget exactly what year. Maybe Dallas won that year.
The first year they beat the Niners, though.
Yeah, and it was all I remember is Craig Newsome got the fumble recovery, but it was like all of a sudden just the combination of the loss and her fucking voice. I mean, I seriously, I was like, you know what, we can't do this anymore. She's like, what? We're gonna get married. No. It's like it was like it was the Pack. It was seriously, that Midwestern accent is just, it's the most unattractive accent on a woman you've ever heard. I cannot listen to Patty and PJ. Ugh. It was awful. So that's a deal breaker for me. The voice. And the other one is, and I don't care if you're the most beautiful thing. If you get the breath of a goat, that's it. That's it.
This is real, man.
Seriously. The breath of a goat or a terrible voice. Those are my deal breakers.
There's a couple other deal breakers.
There's a couple others, but the breath of a goat, I can't even get beyond that, because like it's not even like take a juicy fruit, or here have some Big Red, or
why it's like that, right?
It's like when you get the breath of a goat, I gave her mints, Altoids, all kinds of stuff.
And it would just, you want some gum? You want some?
I mean, seriously. I mean, I was just like, oh my God.
Here's a question, Larry.
I'm like, I smell better breath at the petting zoo.
Did she eat? Larry, did she eat?
I mean, I tried I tried everything there was.
No. I'm saying, did she eat food? More than likely, she didn't eat. That's why.
I don't know. I mean, she was lean.
She didn't eat.
She was beautiful. She was wonderful. She was sweet. And oh my God, it was just like the worst.
That is rough.
So those are the two for me. An annoying, grating, terrible voice and the breath of a goat.
She talks like Barbieri.
Yeah.
A lot more to deal with nowadays.
I know. I love the idea of like Larry being like shallow, like, because you know how everyone's like, oh, you got a face for the radio, and it's like, he's the one guy that's like, he's shallow about voices. It's just because he's on the radio. The girl gonna be the hottest girl in the world, but because
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Justin Gold says Larry has high standards. Just because I got this face doesn't mean I can't appreciate a pretty face. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. But come on. We all have our deal breakers, right?
Yep,
Some people, they can't stand someone who's late. Some people can't have to have the exact political affiliation as their partner. Some people, she's too tall for me. She's too short for me. She's too this. She's too that. Breath of a goat and a grating, annoying face. Those are my deal breakers. Yeah, somebody says Fran Drescher. Yeah, exactly. Awful. I like how I'm the only one who has a deal breaker. You guys are not going to chime in with any deal breakers, are you?
Well, I have some similar. A grating voice would be very difficult, or just someone loud that's very loud laugh.
Ryan's younger than me, but I met my wife 2013, but I went on so many first dates. I was heavy in the dating game,
right?
In the Bay Area, which is pretty shitty, right? It's a lot of dudes down here in the South Bay. That's why they call it San Jose. And so I was on all the sites, right? And one of the things that I noticed is these young girls, they don't ever ask you any questions about yourself. They don't have like the social understanding to be able to, like, when you're out on a date with someone, so you say like, oh, what are you into? And they would answer the question, and then it would just be fucking silence. And I'm just like, okay, and just go into the next question. And this one chick was so hot. I'm talking smoke show, super hot. And it was like that. And even text message, same thing. So finally, after me asking all these questions, I just texted her back and I was like, okay, this concludes our interview. I'm going to be honest. There's other candidates I have to interview for the position.
The position.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good for you, but thanks again for coming. Because it just felt like a fucking interview.
Right.
She didn't respond.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good one. Like, that's where you flip it around and go, hey, now you interview me. And then you can see how little they care.
She just didn't have the brain.
How much do you make?
Yeah. She was
Wait, what are hammer toes? There's people are saying that's a deal breaker.
No, let's not go there.
No idea what that is.
I think I know, but I don't want to guess. No,
I
can't
think
go.
it's a sexual thing. I think it's a real
I think it is. 49ers says Dan smashes ass like crazy. He has no deal breakers. People who use smash.
Oh God.
People. I used to have a roommate who constantly uses crush and smash. Oh, dude, yeah, I crushed this blonde last night. Dude, I smashed this. I'm like, dude, can you come up with any other adjective, except for smash, or another verb except for smash or crush?
Monster slam.
Smash is still used heavily.
Smash. Dude, I crushed. Oh my God. Brian Lucina says smash hammer toe is not sexual. All right. Well, what can I say? What can I say?
I think it's something with your
Ryan look it up.
or something.
Yeah, they kind of just like look a little mangled.
Scotty crushing guts. Oh, great. That sounds great. Dusty says Dan's not a picky man. All right, who's been strangely quiet in this whole segment is this guy up in the top box over here who's standing up against the brick wall. Ryan, do you have deal breakers?
Oh, come on.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Wait, this isn't that bad. What is I'm kind of confused. Those kind of look like my feet.
What the heck is that? Oh, what's up with
I got to tune out, man.
What is that? Is that? I mean, I don't know if we want to go full Rex Ryan on here, but
speaking of Rex Ryan, I got another story for that. So I get contacted by Cameo.
Oh yeah.
So I signed up. Like, okay, Blair, will you do Cameo? Yes, I'll do Cameo. The guy's like really, pushing me hard on Cameo. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll sign up on Cameo. And, I do like, 4 or 5 of them, and it was all cool. It was like, hey, these people, hey, they used to listen to you on the radio, big fan. My uncle's turning 40. Can you say, can you give him crap? He thinks the Giants are going to win the World Series, and can you wish him happy birthday? I get a lot of that, right? So I do like cameos, I don't know, 2-3 times a week. Oh my God. I'm not reading that. I get a cameo from some guy who's like, could you, he was like going to pay me like a sizable amount of money to wear certain shoes. And I'm like, what is it? Is this about a shoe store or what is this? And I realized then the guy wanted to have pictures of my feet. Somebody who had a foot fetish was trying to contact me on Cameo and wanted to see my feet.
Oh, jeez.
And I'll say this: there are some attractive gams for sure, but I drew the line right there.
Those can't be bought. No, can't be bought.
I'm like, no, dude, no. No, I'm not going to show you videos of my feet.
Larry, have you had your Have you had your feet done? I actually I got ingrown toenail surgery. That was pretty freaking.
That hurts. Let's change this subject. Come on.
I did a cameo for my wife.
MF says, I love this segment. Great.
I did a cameo for my wife.
This is getting.
a couple of years ago for her birthday. We used to watch this show called 90 Day Fiance. It's like total smut.
Oh, God, I've seen it.
Just total smut TV, right? And,
I said I've seen it.
But it's highly entertaining, right? So one of the guys, I think it was the dude, I don't remember his name, but he went to the Amazonian to get his chick, and he was like a total loser, like carrying his bags through off the boat in the rainforest in Brazil. And anyways, we always used to make fun of him. So I decided to do a cameo for my wife and have her wish her happy birthday. His cameo was 45 minutes long.
What?
He was taking me around his house.
Can you even download that or upload it? Or
some of the stuff he said was so absurd. I just couldn't even believe it. 45 minutes, took me around his house, was showing me like his all kinds of weird stuff. 45 minutes. What? Weirdo.
Seriously, that is crazy. Jim Olay, I love getting pedicures. Great. That is awesome.
Yeah, somebody else
also wants to know what's your cameo fee?
My cameo fee, it was like low. It was like, I think it was like less than $5. I mean, I don't even remember. It wasn't high because the guy's like, yeah, keep it low and you'll get lots of traction. Well, I probably should up it because I'm getting too much traction.
Hey, Ranger 44, he earlier said he was in his boxers, I think.
This is more interesting than the Giants talk. Carry on, guys.
Carry on, guys.
Yeah, this one, J Stamps. Larry, if you get your feet unhammered, you could make some serious coin. I have no idea what that means.
Anonymous, have you guys gotten a pedicure before?
No.
I've gotten one, and it was pretty nice. Yeah. Anonymous says he gets them every other week. I actually was thinking
Malay gets one every other week. He said,
"Okay, explain it to me, man. Explain. You start explaining right now because I gotta know. I gotta know what the deal is. What's the deal?
Okay, so I mean,
why are you getting pedicures?
It was pretty nice. You got to sit down in like a massage chair first, and it's like, oof, this is pretty dope. And then there's like TVs, and it was like or TV BS, and like
I've got a TV right here. You're not giving me anything special.
I know, but I had the idea while I was there. I was like, somebody should come up with a chain and just call it like Manny Petty or like Manly Petty. And it's like, just have it catered to dudes where like they serve beer. They've got sports on. You've got massage chairs. You've got people that don't speak English.
That's not a bad idea, right?
Malay says, dude, they're the best. He says they're the best.
That's a great idea. Kind of like the sports clips for hair.
Yeah, for your toes. But the thing is, like for like actual like athletes, like basketball players and stuff, like they have to get this stuff done all the time because if their feet like end up getting effed up, like it really screws them up.
I actually have heard of football players and some basketball players who spend a lot of time on their feet that they do get pedicures, but it's more so for so they don't have injuries. So I
get them when my wife goes now because
now the truth's coming out. Here we go. I get them. Now you're like a regular on the pedicure. You're a pedicure regular.
I started getting them because my wife, I take her and I says, you know what?
That's it. He's muted. I can't go any further than that.
Right. Did they
that's just not right.
Did they put your feet in a tub with like the little fish?
No fish. But
have you heard of that?
No. Do the fish like touch your?
No. So
I'll unmute Danny now.
I've never done
not bad. Hey, you get rid of the calluses.
Yeah.
Wait a second. You got to be back. The first sentence was the calluses. Now you're going back to the mute.
Okay. So there's I think it's a part of a pedicure where you put your feet in a tub. I've never done it, but there's little fish that like eat shit off your feet.
What?
Oh, that's kind of sick.
No, look it up. What?
That's
crazy.
What's the difference between a callus and a bunion? Anybody? Bueller?
Paul Bunyan?
What does that say? Is that a part of it?
What the heck?
I ain't doing that, man. That's a trip.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, but I wouldn't. I mean,
you go to a pet store for that?
You have to ask.
Put your foot in the fish tank.
Oh, that looks awful. Is that somebody's neck?
That's his heel.
Jeez. Oh my God! What kind of fish is that?
Man-eating.
Those look like guppies.
Yeah, parasitic relationships. You're feeding the fish, and they're taking off all of your yuckies.
Your dead skin.
I kind of like that.
You got to ask Mole if he's done this.
That's multi-purposing.
That is. Yeah. When I looked it up, the first thing was a PETA article. I think they're.
I think Jim, come on into
Brian
the chat.
says a bunion is a small onion, isn't it?
Jim,
No, it's not.
Where's the number? Put that up there, Jimmy. You're in. Come on. Where's the link, Rye?
This whole live stream has gotten fucking disgusting.
Where's the link, Rye? Put it up for Jimmy.
What are you talking about?
This is for you, Jimmy, only. Come on in and describe. Tell us about the.
Wait a second. Bunion is an actual growth.
No,
Callus is the hard skin.
The video, Rye.
The video. What?
Put the video, Jimmy, to come on in.
Can we do? Oh, I guess we can do more.
Yeah, we could do 5. Yeah, we could do 5. I want Jimmy in because there it is. There's the link, Jim. Welcome in. Come on in, and
he could be smashing though. You never know. You might want to. Jim might be crushing right now.
But I totally got the appeal of like the way like all the girls like spill tea and shit when they're there, because like it's like for the most part a lot of I don't know if this is even bad to say, but it's like a lot of the people working on your feet don't speak very good English, so you kind of feel like
let's not make any generalizations about the pedicure community.
All right. But still, like so I mean, you could talk if you talk sports, get if it's just a bunch of dudes, I don't know.
Hey, so I think that would be really a good idea with you if you had a. If
there was a time I had Ned Coletti on these things. Just want everybody to know that.
That might not be a bad concept to open up one of those.
I know, man, and it's already in the name, Manny Petty or Manly Petty.
Yeah, with the football games going on, different screens.
Specialize in the fish eating. Seriously, that would get it going. Oh, here's Jimmy. There, he's not smashing. Jim, what's up, bro?
Oh no.
We were just talking bunions, Manny's petties, and fish eating heel crust or whatever.
Jim, you got to unmute your mic.
There you go. Sorry.
There you go.
Tell us somebody says how often you go? Every month? Once a month?
Wait. Carlo P. smashing while watching the crew.
Yes, we're versatile. It's a versatile show, Jim. Thanks that you're probably reaching us either pre-smash or post-smash, but thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
now you are a fan of the pedicure, and
oh, dude. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Let's talk it through.
Let's work it through.
Yeah, well, look, I will say I go with my girlfriend. Probably once or twice a month.
Okay.
She gets her feet done and her nails done. I just get the feet done though, but look, you have a couple drinks at lunch maybe beforehand.
Right.
You're feeling good. You roll in there and you put your feet in the tub. It's got the salts, no fish, but it's got the salts. It's got the salts.
The Epsom salts.
Yeah, exactly. And
kind of more of a bring your own fish type situation.
Yeah. What kind of money is it going to cost me if I say, hey, you know what, babe, I'm down for this. Let's do this together. What's it setting me back? I mean, can I get rid of my season tickets? Can Danny get rid of his and still afford this?
$45 to give you a good one and a little tip and 20%.
The good one. Look at that. Happy endings over there.
That's at coffee shops. That's a whole.
But yeah, you're in the massage chair. The ladies doing your massage your feet. It would be funny though. That would be funny to roll in there like with a bag of fucking goldfish. And like, hey, I got an idea.
These are family members. Treat them as such. And I'd like to. I brought my own fish, and I'd like to bring them home with me after they eat.
Brought my own fish. They're very hungry. Did not feed them today. Let's get this started.
The fish thing, Anonymous says the fish thing's about 55.
I think he's just joking. There's no fish thing out there. Come on.
No, it is.
Dan, what is Dan?
In Louisiana, maybe, but not here.
No, Dan. You got to get out more, man.
No, I'm not.
Hey, just because they don't do it at Del Boca Vista doesn't mean it isn't done. All right, get outside the 55 and over community and come visit us.
That's ridiculous. Where do you go to the aquarium for that, or do you go down to Marine World to get a? Where's that done?
It's done.
Suddenly things went dark in Jimmy's house.
No, it's a legit thing. I've never done it, but I've seen it.
Have you done the other?
Here we go. Sorry.
Just a normal one.
Normal petty.
I want to say like once or twice in my
Come
life.
on.
How long does a pedi take, Mole?
No, you get it done with under an hour. Yeah, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Is it
good.
like barroom talk? Do they talking like, hey, what do you guys think of Yaz, or what kind of dialogue you got
I'm
in
not
there?
getting any of that.
All right.
It's that with that the stereotypical salon that you're thinking of probably does fit there. It's like
But Ryan's got this whole idea for a new business. Pitch it.
That's
Ryan.
a great idea.
See if he's in.
Yeah.
So look, they
down
already do that for barbershops, right?
Maybe you get that on the Shark Tank and they'll buy into it and you get franchises.
Yep.
Right. They do it for barbershops, right? You go there, you get a beer, whiskey. It's very fucking masculine. So there's no masculine pedicure. They made some because look, that's probably no one wants to say it. It's in the back of your head. It's like, dude, that sounds gay. I don't want to do that. It sounds gay.
Right.
It's not gay. It's fun.
I never said that. I wasn't even thinking that.
And it releases stress. That's what I was thinking. Typical, sports environment kind of thing. I'm not going to get my pedicure.
I ain't doing that.
Oh, you could. I feel like you could get like Fleet Feet or like some sort of like insole company. Kind of like you could even like kind of bill it as like a sports medicine situation.
Hey, Mookie Betts gets him too.
He says he goes for the buff, but no polish.
I don't know, but I mean, also there is something satisfying about the grading.
What? You were doing something like this. What? It was something satisfying. I have no idea what's going on here. I've lost control of the live stream.
You lost. Oh my goodness.
Once again, to all the people who are members, Ned Coletti was on this same live stream. I just want everybody to know that.
Larry Harris
was on this live stream.
Grant Napier was.
Grant Napier. If you don't like that, you don't like pennies.
Gupta.
Chardall was here.
You don't like that. You don't like
that.
From New York, Connecticut.
Jimmy, what did you think of the Giants tonight, bro? They just got smoked.
Fucking sad, dude. That's just sad.
It's just like you must have did you know it was over before when it was 3-0? Before they scored, 5 more. When it was 3-0, I said, I think it's over.
I mean, look, I'll admit I wasn't watching. I was with my kids earlier this evening, and I was like, just getting the MLB alerts. Giants down 2-0. Giants down 3-0. Yeah.
You know what would be a killer bet? I mean, just from somebody who's not betting it but just watches every day. Take the Giants under in the first 5 innings every day.
Team total
under. Team total under.
Can you do it for first 5 or something?
Some books you can. My book, no. Rise book, probably no.
Because I swear to you, they always have 1 runner less in the 6th. Always.
Anybody who's in a state that has FanDuel or DraftKings definitely has that bet. But in California, we don't have it yet. That's why you have to bet yes or vote yes on Prop 27.
I needed somebody to tell me which one to vote for.
Yeah.
We need Krug show getting political.
We need FanDuel and DraftKings. We need to be able to. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to bet sports online on FanDuel.
No, absolutely.
In California. That makes no sense.
Anything that brings us sports betting faster and easier, I'm for.
You got bugs behind you there now, Ryan?
Those are fish.
Just from a betting standpoint, on those 2 sites, you can parlay NBA props. You can parlay props. So
the bookies F you in the A because they know they have you over a barrel because you don't have any other options. You need a little bit of competition to.
MF says, does Ned decline to go on the Krug show? Never. He's
after tonight, maybe though.
Yeah. Ned has never declined the Krug show. Ned actually, will call me and be like, hey, when do you need me? I just don't want to overuse him. By the way, me and Ryan are going to be speaking on campus to Ned's class at Pepperdine on October the 5th. How great's that going to be?
You're going
what? Why are you
we'll be virtually on campus, virtually.
I was like,
what do you plan on saying?
Yeah, Brian's like, leave me out of it.
What are you going to tell them your stories, or what are you going to?
I'm just going to show them probably an example of this live stream, about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll show them this 10 minutes and maybe bust out some completes, pass them around, and then as everybody yaks, we'll leave.
I got them right here, man.
Give you a hint. He's gonna roll in there
Danny,
with a bag of
everyone in the
fish.
chat was asking how many carbs are in that. Can you look how many carbs?
In this?
Yeah, in that one.
Yeah, look that up. It's great packaging, by the way.
28
Mike
grams.
Vass says this is truly a versatile show. Yes, it is. It's we have great
28
versatility.
grams.
28 grams.
It could be worse. That's not that bad.
Dusty says, I bet Ned has his own stories. I'm sure he
17 grams of protein, though.
You know what I am looking forward to? If MF and I can meet up in Chicago after either Giants post game, Krug show, or Niners, we got to get on the line at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
We gotta connect with you and MF from Chicago.
Amazing.
Now I cannot.
I'm so jealous. Now, how many days are you going out there for, Jimmy?
I'm gonna be out there for a week, like from Wednesday to Wednesday.
Nice.
We're getting really personal here now, aren't we? Look at this.
No, see, that's why we don't. That's why there's
Fair
one
question.
rule.
And
One rule of
it's a fair
thumb
question.
is if you're a young child watching this, the first lesson to learn in all live streams is never give Dan Coach Emilio control over the live stream. He's already knocked us off the air.
That's
and is now just-
hilarious. Ryan, that's hilarious.
Look at
9
that.
grams.
Now that's versatility
Holy
right there.
shit, dude.
31 grams of carbs. Subtract
How many
the
grams in
dietary
there?
fiber.
I can't see.
10% carbs, 31 grams.
See, dude, you put that together in mere seconds. You do know computers.
Look at that.
Wait, where are we looking?
31 grams of carbs. You got to subtract the
A little
dietary
higher, a little
fiber.
higher, right above, right.
Right there.
Yeah, right there, right there.
Okay.
29 net.
Yeah, scratch. Oh, yeah, right there, right there, right there. All right. That's a lot of sodium, as Jay Stamps would say. That's a gang of sodium.
Does it have a blow your ass out rating on the back there? Say, like, what to expect in that arena?
You see that?
You know,
What's
like
that
that,
guy's-
what is that? What's that for peppers? You know,
The Scoville.
Scoville. Yeah, do they have that for like? But how much that's going to blow your ass out? Like, you know,
Sure.
good Indian food.
Oh, that's like
You
a
know,
long
good Korean
did you guys-
barbecue.
Did you guys see a long
Bad
game?
Indian food, good Indian food.
Did you guys see Along Came Polly where he's like, yeah, I love Indian food. I love spicy food. He's sitting there Indian style. He's just drenched in sweat. He's just sitting there eating it. He's like, yeah, I love it. He's just totally drenched.
Damn.
Oh my God.
I'm thinking maybe Dan and I, because we're going early to the Pasquale thing on Monday, because Lair's doing radio. Maybe Dan and I do a live stream, from getting a pedicure.
We're playing in the New York style Italian sausage golf tournament, and we're doing the live auction after to a room full of drunk golfers.
Oh, you're going to MC it?
We're gonna film it. Yeah, three of us are gonna MC it.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be absolutely
What-
epic.
what
And we're gonna have
I can't wait.
Where is it?
Yeah.
It's at San Jose Country Club.
Yes, right around the corner from my crib. I
Oh,
need to
stop
go.
by. Stop
Yeah.
by.
Yeah.
What day?
Monday.
Monday, 29th.
Okay, what do I got to do? Where?
Just show up and drop my name.
I have a feeling people are going to be so drunk that it's just anything goes.
Show up.
Great. I'm gonna come.
Show up. I'm working 9 to noon with Willard, and then I'm gonna head down Monday after the show and play a few holes and then we'll MC the event at night and have some dinner and cut loose.
Do I
Should
need
be
to
fun.
register for this thing, or just for literally show up?
Hey, we don't have Jay Hutch's number.
Well,
do we,
you know what?
Ryan?
Just show up and
we don't have his
drop
phone
my
number
name.
anywhere.
Okay, I'm here to help, Larry.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You're going to see an epic, because I've done these auctions before, and the lady says to me, she's like, "What do you need for the auctions? To do the auction well?" I said, "You get me 3 or 4 beers, and I will produce thousands of dollars for you." And she's like, "I like the sound of that." I'm like, "Yeah, exactly. That's what I need. I need like 3 or 4 beers, and I'll light that room up. I'll start pitting people against one another, and just trash talking people to their face, and either there'll be a fight or we'll get a lot of money out of it. You know what I mean?" So I've occasionally crossed the line, but if I don't cross the line, it's gonna be a great event.
It should be streamed. That should be streamed.
It should be streamed. Well, we are going to have Ryan's going to have a camera.
Yeah,
we could probably stream it if it was the right situation.
And if you want to see the R-rated content, you got to be a Krueger Show member.
Exactly. Well, you know what we're going to do? And this is no joke. We're going to do a full-on interview of Pasquale, and we're going to get some Pasquale-isms all on tape.
I can't wait, dude.
So, that's the video. You think the Niner video is going to be good that we're going to get this year? It ain't nothing like the Pasquale. We're going to bust out the Pasquale. MF says, will you do an event? Will you do it in your bulky voice? I might bust. We really like our linebackers. Gerald Hodges has missed a lot of tackles. There's no question. But, we still got a lot of faith in him. And, absolutely. Yes, our linebackers are shit. But I'll tell you, I picked every one of them by hand. When they drafted AJ Jenkins, Trent Baalke tried to tell Damon Bruce and I, like, basically that same freaking Sonny Weaver story where he wrote down Vontae Mack or no matter what in his pocket. Remember that little anecdote from Draft Day? Do you guys remember Draft Day with Kevin Costner in the movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So in the movie, he takes the poor actor who died, who's like one of the greatest actors ever. What was his name?
Chadwick Boseman, who played Vontae Mack, and he's like Vontae Mack no matter what. He put so then it's like Trent Baalke. He's like, we wrote AJ Jenkins' name down I put it in an envelope and I put it in my desk. And it's like, it's a great anecdote. If the guy's good, if the guy sucks ass, guess what? It's not nearly as good of an anecdote. So Trent Baalke wrote AJ Jenkins' name and put it in an envelope. Oh, congrats.
Disgusting.
Way to go.
Disgusting.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And Damon Bruce, who's a big, he went to Indiana. He's a big Big Ten fan. He's like, Krug, I'll defer to you. Have you ever heard of this guy? We're at the commercial. I'm like, never heard of him ever. And he's like, Jim, we're talking to Harbaugh and Baalke. He's Jim, Trent, I watch a lot of Big Ten football. I've never heard of this guy. It was like, and then I asked Harbaugh, I'm like, Jim, I know Harbaugh's kind of a tough interview. He's kind of prickly and he could say anything at any point. So I said to him, okay, what's a question that I know he can't like turn it on me or be pissed or lose his head. So I asked him in the most benign way. I say, Jim, you drafted AJ Jenkins. Tell us what you like about him. I mean, is there anything more? I mean, seriously, there's people that you don't like. There's picks that you don't like, but you're giving the guy an easy out. Oh, what I really like about him. And he's like, yeah, we really liked the fact, and he's just like going like this. He's kind of moving his head and he's kind of pausing. He just never really said anything
because he didn't want to pick him.
Because he probably didn't want him. Yeah.
No,
I didn't even know who he was.
We really had him ranked right where we had him. And, there were some definite traits there that, we definitely like some of those traits. It was like
the only thing that was out of the normal for Baalke on that one is he wasn't coming off an ACL injury. Right.
Right. It was like, what the hell is this guy on the verge of an ACL that we don't know?
Shit. We need him.
Look at the New York style Italian sausage pictures in the background. Man. It's a conveyor belt.
Is that what it looked like when you went?
Yeah, I got the grand tour. It's an incredible place. They have about 200 employees. It's absolutely spotless. The place is absolutely incredible. They have all these systems. And it's incredible. I mean, they produce an incredible product. I'm a huge fan of the product. The quality control steps that they take. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Fresh in, fresh out.
Fresh in, fresh out.
Oh man.
All right, guys. Well, hey, you know what? 12:15. We probably should let Jimmy he's probably got a smash. And David Hasselhoff donates $1.99. Nothing will ever beat the Solomon Thomas pick. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna crush this and then go smash that.
I got a question about that, Larry. I got a question.
No,
for you.
baby. No, I did not mean that. I swear. I'm so sorry. I'm so
look at Jimmy. He's trying to renegotiate. Hey, look, I didn't mean that. I was.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean you're not. You're not that.
Yeah, we went back to. We were in the same fraternity. I mean, it's a long time ago. It was the way we talked. I'm just trying to make him comfortable. He's got this new show.
Hey, I already did actually invite myself over to you and meet you, so she can meet you and your wife in the creek someday.
Nice. We'll do it.
I told her,
man.
dude, if we buy a house in the creek, we're going over to Larry's for dinner. So.
Oh, absolutely. David Hasselhoff donates $9.99. Nothing will ever beat the Solomon Thomas pick.
So I got a question for you, Larry, about that.
Yeah.
Do you know? Is there any validity to the notion that John Lynch did study class with Solomon Thomas and that's why he picked him because they were friends because they studied together?
And that wasn't why he picked him. I think if you said why was Solomon Thomas such a high pick overall, because I don't want to speak for Lynch, but I would just say he was a high pick overall based on that bowl game. Do you remember how great he was against North Carolina in that bowl game?
Top 5 pick on
I think it was the Sun Bowl. I think he was the Sun Bowl. I think he had 3 sacks and like 7 tackles. He was everywhere, and they really liked him. And I could see why they liked him. I liked him too. I just didn't like him
at 3.
Not at 3. I liked him at like 33.
Yeah, he's like a second-round pick.
Yeah,
well, I think he was a top 10 pick on most people's boards.
No.
Anybody watch
by the time the draft rolled around, I think he was a high pick on a lot of people's boards. But I don't. But still, 3 was, especially since you could have had Mahomes, you could have had Deshaun, you could have, could have had a number of guys really. But
Kyle admitted that he didn't even go look at those guys because he thought he was getting Cousins.
Yeah, their mindset was they were getting Cousins. So I mean. It's weird how things work out. Obviously, Mahomes would have been the pick. Going into the last year, we would have thought Mahomes or Watson would have been the pick. Now I'm kind of thinking they dodged a bullet with Watson. I mean, Watson can't even own the fact that he did what he did. He's just in denial about it. That would not play in San Francisco at all.
It is pretty crazy that he got 11 games and Ridley from the Falcons bet on other teams and he was out for the year. Just
out for the year. Well, because it's the integrity of the competition. And if you have no integrity to the competition, what Ridley did is much more a threat to the NFL's, long term than what Watson did, even though what Watson did was heinous and way worse than what Ridley did. But the whole NFL is based on the integrity. All pro sports are about the integrity of the competition. If you have no integrity of the competition, you have nothing.
Yeah.
So he
wasn't betting on his own games though, right?
Right, but just the idea of impropriety tied to the games themselves. I mean, let's say what is the secret ingredients of the NFL's popularity? Appointment television,
fantasy,
violence, gambling, right? Those 3 elements. You know when it's going to be on. The game's violent and fast. And and gambling. And people say, well, what about fantasy? Fantasy is gambling. It's just penny ante gambling. So so those are the factors. And if you attack the factors that really fuel the league, I mean, you're gone. So do we lose Sean? I guess maybe we lost Sean.
I think we did it. We got to wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it. Let's wrap it.
I've got a headache.
Jimmy, good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man. Love you guys.
Keep coming on. I love when you come on, man.
Dude, I love being on.
Good to see you, Jimmy.
Love you guys.
Those eyelids are looking at half mask right now.
Dude, I'm tired. I'm tired.
Yeah. All right, brother. Good to see you, man.
And I might.
Oh, there we go. Wait a second. Back in. What? You might have had what?
Might have had more than beer.
There you go. All right. Love you, bro.
All right, man. Love you guys. See ya.
All right. Take care.
There you go. Mole in the house.
So we got to finish with that. We got to finish with that car commercial, man. That was so fun.
Oh, Dan, I don't think I can do it. It's too hard to start from the beginning.
Oh, is it really?
Download it, and we'll do it next time.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say this to David Hasselhoff. He's saying sexual assault. Where was he found guilty? Go ahead and if you want to go learn more about it, go read the hearings. It's pretty horrifying. I'm one that gives gives people a chance, but you go.
What are we talking about? We talking about Watson
stuff. Yeah, it's really
I'm not.
than you could have once thought. So
there's a lot of subjects I'll touch. That's not one of them. Dusty says, "Good night, Faith and Buster." Can we see Faith and Buster? Maybe we'll put Danny in the center screen.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Faith. Hey, Buster, come here. There you go, Faith. How you doing? Hey.
Oh, look at Buster. Buster's like, "Hey, I'm over there first." Buster's kind of like the alpha.
Yeah, they battle for attention. Yeah, Faith.
Great looking dogs, man. Great looking dogs.
Oh, look at, he's going for the mount.
Okay. No. Hey,
no,
come on now.
Show. Not on the show, Buster.
It's a family show.
Family show. Keep that.
Do we have Ringo? Can Ringo make it behind the screen?
Is it time for sit, Buster? You sit.
There's Ringo with his Niner.
Has he got his Niner scarf on?
Yep, Niner scarf.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ringy.
There we go. You want to see Ringo, Buster?
Ringo doesn't care about the shutout.
Yeah, that's right.
And look at Buster. Buster, that's a great face right there too.
Yeah, if he gets too excited, we might see in Pasquale here soon. So we don't want.
All right, fellas, good stuff. Thanks to everybody in the chat. 3 hours and 9 minutes. We've had more productive chats than this, but what the hell? It was a lot of fun.
That was awesome.
Hey guys, have a great night. What do we got going this weekend? We got we got practice tomorrow.
Yeah.
What do we know what time practice?
Are we going to practice tomorrow?
I think so. I was planning on it. What is your plan?
Yeah, I'm in.
Do we know what time practice is? All right, we'll figure that out. But Danny, have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Sean back there. Let's add him. Sean back. Sean, we're calling it quits for the night, man.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The laptop died.
No problem.
All right, everybody, have a great weekend. We'll be on tomorrow. Are we doing a show tomorrow after the Giants game?
Is it a 10 a.m. start? What's the start time tomorrow?
I think it's late. Let me look.
Let me double check that.
Side note, before you go, what are we doing? Are we getting on video for the draft for fantasy?
Yeah, I think we're just going to do video.
Okay, cool.
You mean
4:15, Lair?
4:15.
So it'll be about a 7:30.
Okay.
Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll probably do a little post game tomorrow night, and maybe I did touch base with Ned, so maybe Ned will be by tomorrow.
Oh, it'd be great to see Ned.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. He's been in London, so
yeah.
All right, everybody, have a great night, and we will see you soon on the Krueger Show.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Careful, whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no one, I don't need to hassle. Yeah. We ain't never fall back. Hold up.